Hello, everybody. I have Neil here with me, Hyderman, Mr.
Howdy,
Hyde.
howdy.
Yeah,
That's Mister.
today,
That's Mister to you.
that's Mr. Yeah. Today, we're bringing out on the gloves here, as per se.
Ding
Not,
ding.
not really boxing masks, but it's just covering a lot of things that has been going on and right now during this time. We, I saw on Facebook. I have two accounts. On my other account, I saw someone had posted a news thing, you know, and I went to click on it. It had to do with the General Lee of Dukes of Hazzard. Now, I grew up with that show, had a crush on Luke Duke. Actually, I got a chance to meet Bo Luke, John Schneider, and realized nice person as could be. But when I found out that they're going to have a guy paint over top the flag of the General Lee, that fucking pissed me off. There, I dropped that bomb. People know. I've talked to friends, and I told them, I said, I'm bad. You know when I'm mad when I drop that bomb.
And not even 2 minutes in.
Not even 2 minutes. Yeah, I couldn't. It's like I told Neil backstage. Is like, I can't go 24 hours without cussing, especially when it comes to stuff like that. But I looked at that. It's like hell, frack, fuck, that whoever you want to say here. Is you're ruining my freaking childhood. You're screwing with something that's been an icon for so long with the Dukes of Hazard, and I'm also I wouldn't be surprised if they take that Dixie horn out. That horn that they have in the General Lee. I wouldn't be surprised if they took that out so that horn won't blow that Dixie sound. You
I
know,
don't know. I think the horn might be safe, but the yeah, I don't understand why they have to cover off that because it's such an iconic image, right?
yeah, it's such an like it's like when you see the General Lee with the number one and that Confederate flag and the name General Lee on it, you know that's the iconic car of the Dukes of Hazzard. And it's like people say this Confederate flag is racist about slavery. I'm like, wait a minute, it is part of history during the North and the South. It's history. I mean, I know, I know there's a lot of bad things tied to it, but there's nothing wrong with flag because you had the North and the South, and the South had that flag for for them. So it's like to me, it just is part of history. So why ruin? It's kind of like the statues. They want to get rid of the statues because they're offended because some of them were racist, some of them had slaves. No, wait the fuck. Excuse me. Why don't we take the pyramids down? I saw another thing. The pyramids were built by slaves. So why not take them down? I mean, there's some other places that were built by slaves. Why not take them down? Why do we have to do the statues that are part of history? It's like I read Condoleezza Rice. I read what she was saying in this one article, and she's like, yes, they had, there was some bad, but look where we have come, how far we came along. You know, how we came this. Without them, we would have made it to this point. Anyway, enough of my rant thing here. Okay,
Without the bad, you wouldn't have a better future, right? You need to have the bad past, the bad history, to be able to build upon and build a better future for your kids.
True.
Because your kids are the ones that are the future. But what precedents are you setting for them if you're going to look back at all this, the negative history, and try to to sweep it under the rug, because sweeping it under the rug does not change anything.
No, no,
It just,
no.
puts it out of sight, out of mind. That doesn't change anything at all. What
Yeah,
they need to do is they need to teach more of it in school and have the
true.
teachers show the students that the you know the bad parts of history is what's going to build a better future, because you look at what they did with slavery.
Yeah. Lincoln freed the slaves.
Well, Lincoln freed the slaves, and
Mhm.
somebody went and defaced his statue, and it's like, what? You don't read your own history? You should be like building more statues of this
Oh,
guy instead of
okay.
destroying them.
Yeah, we have someone in the chat, Sadarko, or however you say it. He said the pyramids were built by England, surely.
Oh, yeah.
That's, well, that depends on
Well, according to
on how
in the
you,
movie Stargate, on the TV show
yeah,
Stargate,
Stargate, yeah, according to Stargate, yeah. But we can't prove that. But anyway, what we're really trying to talk about, I'll also say this: do not throw the baby out with the bathwater. That every time I think about all the stuff that's going on, taking down faulty towers, taking down Gone with the Wind, um, and who knows what other shows
well,
that has been
Gone
done.
with the Wind is going to be coming back, but it's coming back with a warning, which you didn't need to put. Like, what are you going to say? Oh, by the way, this has racial undertones in it, and it's with slavery in that. Well, no shit.
Oh,
It was made back in the freaking slavery time.
yeah,
It doesn't glorify it by any means.
yeah. Oh, and I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with Roots. Oh my God,
Oh, I can just imagine.
it's just this. It's like now. It's like everything is like offending. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like it, don't get like a statue, don't go see it. If it offends you, don't watch it, don't go see it. Don't go visit. Just live in your little bubble. Safe zone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like those in glass houses do not throw stones.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like that's what they're trying to do, but they're in glass houses and they're throwing these stones because they're offended by every little freaking thing. I mean, way before all this shit started, they had a very strong debate. This was a good while back about the Pledge of Allegiance,
Mm-hmm.
where it says "under God." Well, this atheist was just upset about his son's school saying the Pledge of Allegiance. But you know who led him in the Pledge of Allegiance? His son. So what does that tell you right there?
Mm-hmm. And Sadako 24, you're right. Stargate was a great film. And a good TV show, too.
Yeah, true. But it's just I don't understand. Yeah, you get these people that also say black. You got all these people saying Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. What about all lives? Kitties' lives, animals' lives. I mean, they matter. I
Well, I
mean, they're
saw someone mention that on Twitter, the wonderful Twitter.
yeah,
And they
the
said
wonderful,
it's Black
wonderful one.
Lives Matter now because that's what lives are being threatened. I'm like, no, every life is threatened.
Yeah, I
Just because
mean,
it's more relevant right now and what's going on, but it's not Black Lives Matter. It's all lives matter.
yeah, that's true. And you have people that are Jewish that are getting stereotyped too. When I worked for a store here in the hometown I am, its name is Works is the name of the store, but the guy who owns it is Jewish. And someone came through my line, and I think I wished him a Merry Christmas, and he said, "All Jews are rich." I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, where in the hell is all Jews? And I have a cousin who is Catholic, and his wife was Jewish. She was not rich.
That's when you say, well, you better make friends with them then.
Yeah, I should have said that.
It's you know, there was a report that I read where NASCAR was going to take down the Confederate flags, and
Yeah,
one
I
of
heard.
the drivers was threatening to quit if that was to
Yeah,
happen. I haven't
I
read any or heard anything more about it
I
if
heard
that
it.
would happen, but
I heard it on the news that they heard it on the news about banning the Confederate flag, and I told my boyfriend what you said to me about a driver who wanted to quit because of that, and you know what he said? That driver should just up and quit
mm-hmm.
because if that offends him, why is he in NASCAR?
Yeah,
I mean, think about it. It's like why are you in NASCAR full knowing that maybe someone might have that flag and then you're offended? I swear these
no,
people.
he was offended because they were going to take it down.
Oh, no, wait a minute. The race car driver?
Yes.
He was offended because they were taking it down?
Yeah, he was pissed off because they were going to take the flag down.
Yeah,
Was
but now how does he feel about it being banned from at at the races? He,
I haven't heard too much more about it. I just remember seeing that article.
you know what? I can just see people having private airplanes flying over there with the banner, the Confederate flag. They can't stop them for that.
Yeah, drop a bunch out of an airplane in the crowd for souvenirs.
Yeah, yeah. Here's your Confederate flag. Here, get it, get it while you last. I am. Another thing is, I found out Lady Antebellum. If I'm probably
Late
butchering it,
antebellum, yeah.
they're changing it to Lady A. Now, wait the fuck.
Well, did you hear what happened with that?
No.
They didn't do their homework, and there was an artist who actually uses the name Lady A, and she's used the name for 20 years. And she found out about it the day that Lady Antebellum was going to change the name, and so yeah, she went after them, and I think there might be a lawsuit.
Well, I think that you have to understand. There's a lot of copyrights things, and people are artists and they're using that. I can see that. But also speaking on the Confederate flag, um, there's a country group that my late fiance got me into. It's called Confederate Railroad. I don't know if they're around anymore performing or doing shows, but their music's still on. They probably still, there's probably selling their music, but I can just see their music being banned just because of the name Confederate Railroad.
Oh yeah,
Because we're,
probably.
yeah. And I wonder if those people go after Star Trek, the original series. Because
Oh,
they had,
they're talking about turning Captain Kirk into a bisexual now
oh, God. God.
because they got that new
Okay.
series coming out, right? Strange
Okay.
in the
Okay.
World.
Oh, okay. Okay. If that is true, then here's another F bomb. Let's put that. What? Oh, God.
When at some point at any time in
What were they fucking thinking out there? That's
well,
what. That's what.
they're all pandering, right? They have to make sure that they get this kind of stuff in TV shows to make
Okay.
people happy. But it doesn't
Yeah.
make it's so stupid because at no time at all during the run of the original series and in the movies was Captain Kirk bisexual.
Hell no. He was a womanizer. If you look at
And
the
even like
next.
his aliens too.
Yeah. If you look at next
Green ones.
generation. If you look at the next generation, Riker based. The character Riker was based. His character was the character Riker basically was based on Kirk. That was the
Yeah.
whole premise of that character. Because Riker was a womanizer.
Yeah,
But
Kirk is no more of a womanizer than Riker is,
well, no, they,
or
oh,
bisexual. I mean,
no, no, I don't think you're right. I was kind of glad when Riker married Deanna Troy. I mean, oh
mm,
my God, that was, oh man, I was like happy, happy, happy. you know, I couldn't picture her with Worf. Now that would be a scary situation.
that was just weird.
Yeah, that would be just really weird. A, a Beta Z, half Beta Z with with a Klingon. No, wait a minute. That would be a strange combination. But anyway, we're getting off topic here. But I mean, it really makes my blood boil it made my blood boil when I saw that article. I'm like, oh my, you are ruining my fucking childhood. I
Yeah,
grew up
yeah,
with
they don't
that
care.
show. I grew up with
Yeah,
that show. I got 6 seasons. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna when I have the money. I'm gonna buy the seventh season off of Amazon. So my collection will be totally complete. So if they decide not to sell the Dukes of Hazzards anymore on Amazon, then I don't have to worry about it because I have all the collection. And
yeah. Well,
that's another thing is like with all this going on and shows being pulled and stuff. If you have the money, buy them
yeah,
because
get your physical media in now.
yeah, get your physical. I'm like I would love to have enough money to buy all the Doctor Who from 1963, for the first Doctor all the way to Peter Capaldi, the 12. I would like to buy that, but the problem is I don't have the money right off the bat to do that. I think you got to be rich to do that.
I'm a
But,
proud owner of every Doctor Who episode, in the classic years that's available.
well, I want to buy Tom Baker. I kid you not, Tom Baker and maybe John Pertwee and some William Hartnell, and then I want to buy totally all Matt Smith's episodes. I got Day of the Doctor on DVD. That is the only DVD I have from Doctor Who is Day of the Doctor. And it's like in the DVD, you got DVD, you got the 3D DVD. I'm like, what the? I don't have a 3D TV to watch it. I just thought that was funny. But like I said, buy your physical media now while you can, because the way this is going. I mean, we don't know, but as I talked to Neil Perkins, he said this will all blow over, and then they'll find something else to go after or do. But they've been going after the statues for a long time.
Yeah, and
And
this is
that has
sort of
been
just giving them their,
yeah.
the feeling that they're right to go ahead
Yeah,
and
yeah,
damage all these things.
with all the writing going on, it gives the people a right to do this. Now, I have noticed, I've seen it's been a lot of regular people, as the Native Americans can call the white people, the white man. They're doing all destruction, but I've never seen any Native Americans go after a statue because to them that is history, and even though they don't agree with it, they would know from what I feel that they were never gone because they feel history. They feel history is important.
Mhm.
Okay, Sudoku, or however you say, it says
Sadako.
that yeah, the '70s are definitely the golden age. I
Hmm.
was I was too young in the '70s. I was born in '67. I was in grade school. I was like too young to remember anything. He says, "Get those John and Tom stories, if nothing." Yep, 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 yep. True, true, true. These
especially
people.
especially Talons of Wayne Chang.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that. I saw that. It's like if you go on, it gives you a little bit. Uh, these people hate any creativity that is tainted in every way. That's
Hmm.
that's true,
Hmm.
and nothing will dis. How would you say
Dissuade.
that?
Nothing will
Dissuade?
dissuade them. that it's tainted.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, they only see what is in front of their faces right now, right? They don't
yeah.
care about yesterday. They don't care about 10 years ago. They don't care about 100 years ago. It's right now that matters to them, and that's wrong.
It's what's going on this day and age. The strange statues, they're doing what ISIS did. Yeah, I agree
Well,
with
yeah.
you. I agree with you. I agree with you. Honest to God, you know, and the whole thing is like someone was I was listening to one of the streams with Blue Bonnet and JC Scott, you know, and I was listening, and they were talking about 9/11 and stuff, and about how they put Japs during the time back in the day, Japs in Japanese Americans in camps. Well, because the Pearl Harbor got bombed, us Americans were afraid that the American Japanese would, you know, turn and be attacked from, from the American Japanese in our own country. So they wanted to throw them in the camps because they were afraid they weren't going to turn. Well, I look at this, look at the towers, and when the twin towers got hit, we know it was Muslims who did it, from Middle East. It's like after that, everybody around thinking, oh, everybody from the Middle East who are Muslims are bad people. I don't believe that. You got bad and good in any nation. Oh, hello, the other Neil.
You know, when we go back to what Sadako said about, what ISIS did with destroying the statues and stuff like that, it's not only just what ISIS did, it's what the Nazis did too.
Oh
Because,
yes,
when they took the paintings, they took the books,
yeah,
and,
burning the
they burned all that stuff because it wasn't in their,
yeah.
in their way of thinking, and it's, we've come so far, and now we're taking so many steps back as a society.
Oh, you want to hear something really funny? I watched Criminal Minds, a lot of reruns on Ion here, and they have reruns, and this is if you want, I think it was Criminal Minds. I don't know what show it was. If you want to do anything, uh, don't burn Hustler, burn Catcher in the Rye. Hey, Lizzie.
Hello,
Sorry.
Neil. Hello, Lizzie. Nice of you to join.
Yeah, when I say the other Neil, Mister, this Neil knows why. It's like I swear to God, I'm looking. I swear to God, I'm in
The two Neil.
the two Neils. Yeah. Um, but it's just it's just I find it appalling. It's like, yeah, in Germany they were burning all the books. And it's like, excuse me, when I look at that, it's like I'm thinking, it's like, excuse me, what do you think burning these books gonna do? It's gonna make people more wanting to get them, to get their hands on it. And it's kind of like what we need to do is all these
Well,
shows.
when they took Gone with the Wind off of Netflix, sales went up big time on and Amazon.
Just like
Which
what.
first, Neil, and which is the second?
Okay, I was like, okay, we got Neil P and Neil H. How's
There you
that?
go.
Is that better, Neil P? When I think of his, oh God, now I'm getting tongue tied here. But it's like now it's with everybody banning all these comedy shows that get you laughing. People got to go out and buy it. That's gonna make the demand more because
Yep.
people are gonna want it.
Get that physical media in now.
Yeah, like with everybody of them saying, get physical media, get physical media. If you can't afford it, me, I'll do it whenever I be able to have the money, which is like real tight. I'm
We need to
hoping.
win the lottery.
Yeah, I need to win the lottery. Yeah, true. I really do. Um, but I'm trying to get in. Trying to get into the medical field, like medical billing, coding, medical records, and with this pandemic, they got a virtual. Um, God, cannot pharmacy tech. It's a work from home thing.
A virtual of pharmacy
Not virtual for remote pharmacy tech. I could
Oh,
not
okay.
think of the name. I couldn't think. See, that's what happens when your brain freezes.
So it's like
It, yeah,
virtual. It'll be like you put your little headphones on and you can pretend they hand them the medicine.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yes. What's really funny is I know this has changed. I When I was going to online college, we did. I was going through doing the pharmacy part, and we had a virtual type pharmacy where you had a computerized generator and you had to do everything. It's like you are in the pharmacy, but it was kind of weird. But they have basically is remote pharmacist tech. So I could get that. I do not want to work retail pharmacy. Tried that as an internship, and halfway in I realized it was not for me.
Mm.
Because with ADHD, I can only focus on one thing or two things, and back there, they're running around like a chicken with their head cut off. I mean, those. I'll tell you one thing. I give kudos to all those people who work back there, because I mean, they all what they have to deal with. Um, but like I said, it's like once I get that, but I with disability, I have to watch out how much money you can earn.
Hmm.
That's the whole thing there. Uh, but the thing of it is once I can be able to get, have the money, I'm gonna get some more physical Doctor Who media. You know, the buy some of the Doctor Who. Um, yeah, like I said, I want John and Tom and Matt. Oh God, Matt, love him. But the person I love the most, I just could give him the phone book and say, "Read it to me, and I want your phone number." Palm again. It's just
Well,
his.
I'm a proud owner of. I've got all the available ones
Yeah,
on DVD from classic years.
yeah.
I have to replace my Stones of Blood because it kind of crapped out on me when I was going to do a live watch with Blue Bonnet, and then when I was doing the trailer for Twin Dilemma, episode 4 was all buggered up, so I've got to replace those two.
Okay. Sadoko. It says, yeah, I often go into the CEX shop. What in the heck is CEX?
Well, Neil put a comment up before that. That probably
Oh, okay.
explains it. Computer
Sorry.
exchange. Yeah.
Oh, there is a store over here in the UK called. Okay, now he answered it right after I look at it. Computer Exchange. You can buy DVD and Blu-ray very cheap. Some as cheap as 50p or 50. Well, that's probably a tongue. And I spend a lot of time in there. Wish they had that here in the U.S. It would have been really great. It would be really great because then I wouldn't have to worry about it. Me and Blue Bonnet wouldn't have to worry about it.
See, for me, when I read that, it looks like it's more of a sex shop.
Oh my god!
Right? CEX. Sex shop. So it's a good thing he said computer exchange.
You know what, Neil P. Thank you for saying that. Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah, it was a good watch along or a good watch along.
Oh,
So
I
it
see
was a
what it
lot of
is.
fun.
P. Oh, okay. P is for pence. It's a kind of what cents are over here in the. Okay, I had no idea. I don't know. I don't. I have to understand. I don't know the money difference. But I know you guys over in England, over the UK, have pounds.
We're a
Okay.
hapless Canuck and a hapless American.
Yeah, half Canuck, half American. Well, no, I'm all American.
You're
I'm
all American.
I'm a
It's
warm
not the
blooded
slogan down
American.
there, anyways. We're all American.
I'm all American, and I'm a Yankee, and I'm proud of it. Yeah, and I say y'all too, and people say, "Are you from the South?" I said, "No, I can't say you." When I say you, break it, and I have you, and then you have all. I can't. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me. I say y'all, and people think I'm from the South. I say, I'm sorry, just I'm from the North. Like it's it,
I say a lot, and that's a Canadian thing too. Say how
you
you
heard.
doing, eh?
Yes, I've heard of pennies. I've heard of pennies. Penny for your thought. I'm sorry, we're getting off topic.
Pennies are actually obsolete here in Canada. We don't use them anymore.
Oh, we still have pennies.
Yeah, no, they did away with pennies here.
By the way, when you get a dollar bill, do you know where that dollar bill was?
Up someone's ass. I don't know what.
No, in a stripper's G string.
Oh, well, so next time I have a dollar bill still tucked away because they did away with those ones here too. We don't have a dollar bills, and we don't have pennies anymore.
Oh, by the way, he says I've heard New York rappers say y'all.
Yeah,
Okay, so
right.
on that,
Get down, y'all.
yeah, and then he says, "There you go, 100 pennies to a pound." Yeah, and what do you have on the face of your money in Canada? I've noticed it's been a while since I've seen Canadian money.
You know what? I can't remember. I know we have Queen Elizabeth on
Yeah,
one.
that's why I figured the
We
Queen.
have Sir John A. Macdonald on another. We have Sir Wilfrid Laurier on another. We have a beaver on one because our beavers are what do you call that? The Canadian symbol. Kind of like
Just
you like your in America, the symbol is the bald eagle, right?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Canadians we have a beaver.
But
We're
each
cooler. Who can say we have beavers as a symbol?
yeah. Well, let's put it this way: each different state have their different nationality too. Uh uh uh
Yeah,
we have Queen Lizzie too.
yeah, we're part of the same Commonwealth.
Yeah. Well, did you know that Pennsylvania and I think Virginia are Commonwealth states here in the U.S.? They're
Commonwealth
Commonwealth. Yeah,
to,
Pennsylvania and Virginia
to who?
in the United States.
They're Commonwealth.
Yeah, they're Commonwealth states. I did not know that. My boyfriend was born and raised in Norfolk, Virginia, and then when I met him, he was living in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, and both those states are Commonwealth.
Hmm.
I had no idea we had Commonwealth states here in the U.S., the great U.S. of A.
Yeah, well,
Do
that's
and
today.
and here in the United States, they also want to get rid of the presidents off of our bills.
They
Now, where
already
they
did.
go? And I joked with my mama, so
See,
where
you
they
not
go?
one yet?
I
Is
know
Trump on any money?
you know what I was saying. I told this to my mom, and I after I explained to her, I said, "Well, what are they going to do? Remove them all and replace them with Donald Trump?" And my mom says, "I said, well, I'm just being sarcastic because they want to get rid of the presidents that been, done great things, just because they were slave owners or, you know, I don't know if they were probably racist or something, and they want to get rid of them." I said, "Well, why don't we just put Donald Trump on our bills and we'll be happy? It'll
Well, I'm
satisfy
like
everybody."
a cartoon image of him, as everything would be fun.
Oh my God. I just I cannot picture Donald J. Trump on the money.
Well, I mean, he can go on a stripper's dollar bill. 'Cause I'm
Strippers.
sure he's put a few in some G strings before.
Oh God, yeah, yeah, probably so. And you notice all his wives are trophy wives,
Hmm.
and he's got two. One of his exes is not from here. The woman he's married was not born from here. The only person is Marla Maple. She was born and raised in USA. That's his
Yeah, he was
ex-wife.
on Fresh Prince of Bel Air when he was married to Marla Staples.
Marla Maples.
Marla Maples. Sorry, Marla Staples. She's actually Marla Staples is an employee at the place I work.
But no, it's just he. If you look at all the women, they're way younger than him. And like my God, they're true. As my dad says, they're trophy wives. It's that's the truth. They're the trophy wives. I think he just wants to have this eye candy on his arm. That's what some people call younger women who are pretty to an older man says, well, he wants to have eye candy.
Well, if I could have eye candy on my arm, Ava Green, if you're listening, hello, hear this deep voice. I can read to you every night.
Oh God. Oh God. What about you and Leela? The person who played Leela.
Yeah, she's nice. She's nice too, but
I thought you overheated in the chat whenever that name came up.
it was the outfit.
It was the outfit. Okay, don't want to get you overheated with the outfit. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, they're only interested for his money. It's obviously not for his dick size because I've heard it's pretty small.
Oh my God, you actually said that? Oh my God, I cannot believe you. Oh, wait a minute here.
Well, according to Stormy, it looks
Look
like
what she said. Look what she said. Mr. Hyde, I thought you were waiting SMG.
I thought you were waiting SMG.
Your Commonwealth states are different, Michelle. The Commonwealth we are in is what used to be known as the British Empire.
That's why it's quite. I was wondering what you were talking about Commonwealth because the states are part of it because they went to war for it.
Yeah, well, the whole thing is I didn't know the difference between our Commonwealth states because it's like no one ever told me. And it was my boyfriend told me now. I'm like, and I looked at paper. It said Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I'm like, what? I was like tripping. It's like I grew up here. Yeah, tripping. We're all tripping. Did you see what she just misread you?
I'm planning to do a video review soon of Leela's first story. Ah, yes, the
final story. I know what that was.
Face of Evil.
It says your dates back to the 1700s, and it's about free and independent states. True. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't. I mean, if they look about the Civil War, and I'm going to just say the way things are going, I have a feeling it may end up, if we don't stop now doing all this banning and removing shit, if we don't stop now, this is going to end up in a freaking Civil War.
Well, what happened in the 1700s doesn't, mean anything right now with everything that's going on now, right? Because you're not free and independent. You got everyone is being, tied down and forced down with this whole
propaganda.
Yeah, in Black Lives and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
and they're using this Black Lives Matter, all this protesting and stuff that's been going on. They've been using it's like, okay, we're gonna use this excuse to remove this, remove that, remove this, remove that. I am afraid
of people washing feet, for crying out loud.
What'd you say?
Pictures of people washing feet.
Washing feet?
Yeah. Bunch of white guys were washing the feet of black people. And I'm like, what? Really? Are you kidding me?
Oh my God!
It was on the news too. It was like, oh, for fuck's sakes!
There you go, dropping that. There you go. You dropped the F-bomb now.
Yeah. Well, we're 40 minutes in, so I finally dropped the F-bomb.
Well, I dropped the F-bomb earlier on. And whenever when I'm pissed when I drop the F-bomb, I'm really pissed. I mean, I get mad, and stuff like that. But when I'm really pissed off, there goes the F bomb.
Mhm.
And sometimes some people think I should have red hair because I got a temper, but I got dark hair. Not as dark as a picture of my avatar. And the avatar picture there is actually the avatar from.
Just tell people it's you because you might get more subscribers.
Oh yeah, I
Sell.
could. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Hey,
well, you can see a
it's
little
just
bit
when you
of
say, "Hey boys, what do you think of the new avatar? What do you think of the new hairstyle?"
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm pure Masco. What in the heck?
It's pure masochism, and it's feeding sadists. Yeah, totally.
Okay,
People are
okay.
starting to lose their minds. You know what I mean? They're like, we're sorry for everything that happened back in the 1700s, and and onward with slavery and whatever. So here, let me wash your feet, or put chains on me and
Oh yeah.
march
Oh
me
yeah.
through the friggin'
Oh yeah.
streets so I can say sorry for what we all did.
Oh, I saw a picture of
Fuck off.
a friend of one of our Hoovy friends post the thing, a picture where there's this black guy have these white guys in chains, and they had T-shirts that sorry. I'm like, what the fuck? Excuse me, boys, wake up. I mean, it's like, excuse me. It's like we don't have to apologize for history. That it's kind of like, if now I'm going to say this. Back in the day, back in like the 1700s and stuff like that, Native Americans were uh, before black people become slaves. You had Chinese slaves working on the railroads. They enslaved Native Americans. I mean, and the Native Americans don't like the white man because of what they did to them. If you talk to a lot of the Native Americans, that the older ones, the elders who know about the past, a lot of them will hold on to anger towards the white man because of the past. Well, that's the past. Let's move on. You know, it's like,
It's good to be angry about it, but it's wrong to be violent about it because that doesn't prove any. That just makes
no,
you,
look like the bad
look
guy.
like them. That just it's like a role reversal. What you need to do is educate people on what happened then to make a better future.
Yeah, that's true. That's what we need to do instead of removing all these removing all these shows and stuff like that. And oh god, oh god, I won't be doing a feet washing. I won't even go near Liz's feet. Oh, like, now
Enjoy that couch tonight, Neil.
yeah. Well, no. And he said he can't feel on the couch. You can get the floor, but that's if he can get up from the floor. When you're getting old, when you can't get up off the floor. I got a couch that you sit in the middle seat. It sucks your butt in. It's like you can't get out of that middle seat. Just the middle cushion seat. But right there, and we both laughed, but someone would take that wrong. When you think about it, that is it's a funny, and it's funny. But a lot of people will turn around and take that as a wrong. Whoa, 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 and look at it, pick it apart. That's what they're doing. They're just picking things apart, pick out what they like, get rid of what they don't like and what offends them.
The world is full of too many pussies now.
Oh, there he said it. There he said the P word.
No, it's true.
You say
Gone are
wussies.
the days that you can, joke around and be fun and politely insult somebody and know that they're being insulted and take it and insult someone back. Those days you can't even look at somebody without somebody being all pussyfoot and
Yeah,
whining, saying, you hurt my feelings and I'm
I
going to
love
say
you.
something about it and I'm going to report you and your life is going to be over. It's like, fuck
Uh,
off.
well, let's put it this way. It's like with all this going on, if you go out and say hi to your neighbor, you're afraid that they're about ready to strangle you.
Yeah, I got cool neighbors. She's got annoying kids, but I have cool neighbors.
I know that, but it's just the point the way things are going. And like we
Sit
talked in
down,
your
make a drone, and walk around and not say anything to anybody.
yeah, but another thing is also on top of this, you got people that like as we were talking your one stream about bullying.
Yep.
I mean, being bullied off of Twitter. Some of them being bullied probably off of Facebook. That probably happens, but Twitter's the worst one of those Facebook and Twitter. Twitter's the worst of those.
Well, keyboard cowards, right? They can hide behind a keyboard,
yeah,
type what
but
they want to, and not worry about anyone coming up and punching them
yeah,
in the fucking
yeah,
mouth.
that's true. They want and blah, 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 blah. Sorry, anonymity. It's kind of like whenever you see Superman and Clark Kent, and you don't know Clark Kent is really Superman.
Yeah, those
So
glasses are making it. They really fool you.
yeah, but no, but I want just the way that he does his hair and the way it's worse. But that is his anonymity.
Hmm.
No one knows it, but that's what the computer is to these people. They want to be able to bitch someone out and not have to worry about facing the consequences. Now, the game I play, Second Life, there's people on there that do bullying and harassing, but you can go and report them to Linden Labs. That's the people that started Second Life. But you can report them, but a lot of times those reports don't get the person doesn't get talked to. From what I heard, it doesn't. You report it, nothing really ever happens. Oh, wait a minute here. He's a Jody fan too,
People can't take a joke they can say away from
but
me.
I
Yes, that's true.
but I
Who's a,
had trouble.
who's a
Oh,
Jody fan?
people can't take a joke; they can stay away. Yeah, that's true. If you can't handle the joke, get out.
Oh, I see. So Dooku said, I have a fan cyberstalker who's followed me to every Who forum and managed to troll and chase me off. That's what
Yeah,
we were talking about, because someone can hide their identity
yeah,
and be an asshole.
yeah. And
It's ridiculous.
yeah, it's like they can and we get trolls in Second Life too. There's trolls in there too as well, and we have to watch out because whenever you sign up, you can get free account from there, and it asks you if you're a robot because sometimes people I don't know about the whole thing. So are you a robot? No, not the last time I checked. I was a human being. I
Yeah, no,
hate those. I hate those things when you go online to fill out something and ask you if you're a robot. I'm like, well, I'm human. Last time I checked, I got more facilities.
yeah. And the best thing you can do, Saduku, is just ignore them.
Yeah, just
That makes them look like an idiot when they're trolling because they're the one that's being a bully. They're the one that's trying to put somebody down, but at the same, they're putting themselves down.
yeah. But the whole thing is, if you do not give them fuel, then eventually they'll burn out.
Fire will go out.
Yeah, the fire will go out. But if it's kind of like this, if a person is trying to argue with you and you don't say anything back to them, and they're arguing, looks like they're as I was told, they're making a fool of themselves. It's
Hmm.
like when another person arguing with someone and that other person not saying anything. Wouldn't you kind of look foolish? It's like you're arguing with yourself. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah,
uh,
I had one when it was first announced when Jody was the doctor. Um, I voiced my opinion. I said it was wrong. I think it was a mistake, and I still don't think it's a mistake. But I lost 115 followers on my Twitter because nobody liked my opinion.
oh,
And I had one guy who, he was threatening me and everything else. And I just said to him, I said, I'll give you my address, and you can come here to my house and do what you're gonna do.
And he never heard from him
He
again.
blocked me, and that was it. He's a coward. They're just cowards.
They just want to hide and they don't want to face. It's kind of like whenever you're in school, the bully's bullying you face to face, and things can be done, but it's like when you get bullied from online, it's like you can't see the person.
Yeah, you'll pop them in the mouth, but you can't do it when they're online.
Yeah, you can't really do them. And another thing is like you also got to watch out how you type words too. People can take those the wrong way.
Oh, definitely. Yep.
I mean, um, the first I would say it's a rant, but really is not. It is just it was when Jody became the doctor, and it was season 11. I voiced my opinion, and I just ranted about it because I was getting tired of these people. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Oh my God! Now I get the chance to see his face. It's
Hello, Jason.
Nathan Scott. He always has his avatar. I've never seen what he looks like.
The avatar looks just like him.
I don't know if he can hear us. Yeah, I don't know if your sound's on.
And Neil said when Jody was announced, I felt like someone took my childhood away. It was totally the wrong decision, and I think series 11 and 12 proves it. Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
And I was the same way. Someone took my childhood hero away from me when Jody was announced.
Yeah,
I voiced my opinion on it, and people weren't happy with that opinion.
I got tired of people that are for Jody that bash those people who don't like it. I was like, why can't we just all agree to disagree?
Okay.
Hello.
Figured out the problem. Hello.
Hello there.
Oh my God! I've not seen your avatar. First time I actually seen your real face.
This is a debut.
Oh my God!
Probably the first and last.
The first on my channel.
That's right. You're
Just
getting it.
just kind of like when I got Dean Saturday. That was his first time on my channel.
You're a trendsetter, Michelle.
Yeah, I'm a trendsetter. Hey, Andy's in chat.
So what did I miss?
Well, we were talking about sort of. I dropped the FM earlier in the part of the show. It was about the Dukes of Hazzard. What the fuck? They're messing with my car from my childhood. Of course, I had a crush on Tom Wolpan. But it's like it started out with that. We talked about the statues. Said that we need to get the physical media when you can't, when you have the money, because now a lot of us who have the money to buy the physical media, and we talked of everything and stuff like that, and the money situation, how they want. But I'm looking at it is if they want to take the presidents off the money, it's going to cost money to make new plates to remove the presidents off of it, because you have to have the new plates to make the money.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to fix it around so it look a halfway decent. So, about your views about everything. And you feel free to drop the F-bomb. I did it. Neil did it. So,
I mean, I think it's this whole painting over the Confederate flag on the General Lee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just part of a much larger narrative, that really kind of implies that America has this huge problem with racism, and you just pretty much, it seems to me that they're seeing it everywhere. They find it in everything now.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, look, I can kind of understand the Confederate flag to an extent, okay, but still, I mean, they're about 30 years too late, because I think Dukes of Hazzard right now, even though I watched the show, I bought the 45 of the intro theme song, I mean, I was a fan of the show.
So was I.
It's the good old.
I think they're probably about 30 years too late in terms
Yeah.
of relevance. And what's the point of, seriously, what's the point of painting over?
Now.
Yeah, now. I
It's
mean,
not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. The show's not going on. It's just reruns. I got all 6 seasons. I'm gonna work on. I didn't know there were 7. Miss Neil, the one that has the Doctor Who chat,
Neil
is
number one.
yeah Neil number 1. Yeah, we got Neil here, Neil number 2, and Neil number 1. Uh, between 2 Neils. The thing of it is he told me there were 7 seasons. I'm like, what? So I looked it up, and I'm going to buy season 7 so I can complete my collection in case they decide to pull and not sell Dukes of Hazards. So I will be able to have that in physical media. So it's just when I found that out, I mean, that really fucking pissed me off. I actually, by the way, I actually got a chance to meet John Schneider. Oh my god, sweetest person. Oh my god, he is as nice as can be. I mean, it's like here's my one of the people from my childhood TV show, and I meet him. I was like, oh my god, you. It's like I have that picture. It was me. It was me, John. It was me, John. John Schneider one time, my late fiance, and I was in the middle. I was like, I'm not washing my shoulder. I'm not washing my shoulder. So, uh,
I like Jonathan Snyder as Jonathan Kent in Smallville. He was good.
yeah, he hasn't done a whole lot, has he?
No.
I mean, he's done some stuff, but he's not exactly the most in-demand guy.
No, not anymore.
You there, Michelle? Oh, she's muted.
Yeah, she's muted. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, so I mean, so what was your take on it? I didn't get your take on it, Neil.
With General Lee painting over?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, but at the same time, I think it's dumb. It's been a symbol for how many years? But see, these people, they don't see that as part of history. What's going on now, they only see what's going on in front of their face at present time. They don't care about what happened in the future. They don't care about history.
and
Wipe everything off, now, because that's what they think is relevant.
oh, anyway, I just read Lizzie's. Oh my god, Michelle, kiss your mom with them. dropping that bomb. I'm like, well, hey, I it's like, it's just the whole thing. It's like why it's like they're way too late painting over that flag on the Dukes of Hazard. You know, the show hasn't been on the air. It's only on reruns, but they're not producing the show. So why paint the thing over?
Well, I read too. I can't remember who shared it, but someone put on that they're talking about pulling Law and Order now too because it shows good cops.
Oh my god! Law and Order SVU, Law and Order original season has not been on the air. It's in reruns, and you got Law and Order Criminal Intent,
Yeah.
Turn Intent reruns. But the only Law and Order that's on is Law and Order SVU, and I don't think they're gonna pull that because Law and Order SVU is been tackling content. I've been tackling a content that is very controversial. Oh, wait a minute here.
Well, I imagine imagine they would because they can't show cops.
Okay. Tom Wopat guest starred on the episode Smallville alongside John Snyder, and guess what? He drove a Dodge Charger.
Yep,
that's what their car was a Dodge Charger. I have John Schneider. John Schneider has a Facebook, a YouTube, channel, and I've been listening. I've subscribed and I've listened to how you can create your own General Lee. I also listened. He talked about how many times that they, how many General Lees that they have went through, and stuff. So I mean, um,
Now it's create your own General Lee without the flag on the top.
yeah. Uh,
Well,
what
it's not
what?
really the General Lee if I mean,
Yeah,
what's
exactly. They're just
No,
going to call
no.
it an orange car.
It's just gonna be a orange car.
isn't
Wait
that
a
kind of
minute.
what distinguished
Yeah.
it from
Hey,
all
look, I've
other?
got an
Yeah,
orange car.
yeah. I
It was
wonder.
in a TV show. Oh, what TV show?
Yeah, really.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying.
but are they gonna get rid of that horn? That one that that Dixie horn?
Oh, who knows? I wouldn't be surprised.
Uh, yeah. Your wife says, "What is the deal with Tony the Tiger?"
They're
Because
great.
Daniel had I had posted a message and it was it's sort of intertwined with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's somewhat related, but yeah, and he said not only are in addition to whatever I was talking about, which had to do with, look, if you think the American flag's racist, then what the hell are you doing in this country? If you think America's racist, then don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Oh no! Oh no! So,
Just don't come up this way.
he says, "I'm dreading what's going to happen to RoboCop."
Um,
I
I don't
wonder if they're
know.
going to go after that one too.
What's the deal with RoboCop?
Well, we were talking about what was it, police. I think has to do. I don't know. I mean, they're
Because
going
it's a
to.
cop show.
Yeah, it's a cop show. He's a robot cop.
Yeah, okay.
What about mall? What about that mall? That the movie with it's called Mall Cop, or I don't know.
Mall cop.
Yeah,
Mall
Mall
cop.
Cop. I wonder if they're going. I mean, what is this? They're going. I can understand his thing. It's like dreading about that because it's like anything that's good and funny. Are they gonna go? Are they gonna go after? You
Yeah,
know,
I think it's just the idea of cops.
yeah, cops in general. Um,
Well, they
I
finally pulled the TV show Cops after like 33 years.
Live
yeah.
PD was canceled.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Now I wonder what's gonna happen to NCIS.
Is that on still?
Yeah, it is. It's still on.
Okay, I'm curious about the whole Tony the Tiger thing, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is Daniel had left a message saying they're going after Tony the Tiger now, and I was like, really? So Tony the Tiger's racist now? And yeah, I didn't know what he was talking about. I haven't looked it up, but I was curious. I hadn't heard anything about it.
Maybe it's his
I haven't.
colors.
Maybe it's his colors too. Who knows?
Isn't he like orange and white?
Yeah, he's
I
a
mean,
tiger.
Yeah.
He's a
Well,
tiger.
He's a
well,
tiger. I
isn't the
mean-
flag, whatever flag, orange and white? No.
yeah. I mean, you're going to need a few stars in there. You can't just have orange and orange. What are we going to start going out and killing tigers now because they got a little orange in them?
Yeah,
Orange is going to be banned. We might as
we're gonna
well
have to-
start banning blue because blue is the color of the police.
Yeah, that's right.
that's true.
Dark blue,
Can't
yeah.
have white because you got too many white cops. So all the colors, of the color wheel are eventually going to be gone. You'll just
No,
have
yeah.
you can't even have
Okay.
white anymore. It'll just be everything in black.
Tony
Yeah.
Tiger's going to turn
Well-
out pink.
Neo once said this. It must because he's racist to the white tigers. So that's a funny thing. But see, the whole thing is you just can't laugh anymore. They don't want to have. I mean, you watch these shows just to get entertained, to enjoy, and it's like now we can't enjoy like Towns of Wan Chang without having that little warning sign. Now we can't watch Gone with the Wind until they bring it back, but with a disclaimer. I'm like, I can't. What would they do with Roots? That's about slavery. Will they go after that one?
Doubt it.
Probably.
Isn't
Yeah,
that more from a black perspective?
yeah, but it was,
Yeah, they don't care about that, though.
I
Yeah.
tend to think they probably would leave that one just simply because it's from the black perspective. If it's a show about slavery and it's from a black, but like you'd never have a show where, you know, it's like about a slave owner and it's from his perspective. And
then that would be in trouble.
nah, that's
This.
not going to make it.
This is what they won't be happy until everyone else is miserable as they are.
Yeah.
You agree with that? I told Neil too here in the stream here. I told him, it's like, you know, people should not be throwing stones in glass houses, because they're throwing stones, but they're in glass houses because it's like a bubble, you know. And another thing is, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
They won't be happy until we're all wearing pink tutus and calling ourselves Karen.
Yeah, pink tutus. Yeah. I can see you two in pink tutus. I don't think that would. I couldn't see Neil one in a pink tutu.
Yeah, I got the hip.
That would be a sore sight to see Neil one in pink tutu.
I don't think anybody'd want to see me in pink anyway. Pink tutu. God, for heaven's sake.
No. Well, you know what? Most
pink tutus and holding signs that says "I'm sorry."
Uh-oh. Okay, Lizzie says someone have been bitching about Friends too, because there aren't enough black characters. Bitching about because there are not enough black characters in Friends.
Was there any? Yeah, now Captain Kirk is going to be bisexual.
Oh, yeah, Andy. That's what Neil Tutu.
See, now you're picturing me in a tutu.
See what happens when you do live stream? Wait a minute. Who's laughing in the background?
Sorry, you picked up Blue Bonnet laughing at something.
See, Andy's picturing me in a tutu. Anybody else want to picture me in a tutu?
Oh gosh. See what happens when you start something. They have removed Little Britain because
that was
it. What did she say? That was it?
Yeah.
Okay, they have removed Little Britain because of them portraying black character. So is it not right to remove Coming to America and also White Chicks? Don't those movies have the opposite situation? Yeah, Coming to America. I think
the one with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. And she said, yes, there were a few black characters. Do you mean Friends, Lizzie?
Yeah, I think we were talking about, because I said, was there any black people in Friends? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. But it's just...
It's so long since I watched it. I stopped watching it when they got rid of the damn monkey. I like the monkey.
I'm surprised they don't... Have they gone after... oh, God. All in the Family? I mean,
No.
even though the show is not there, you got reruns, and you figured someone would say something.
No, I Blue Bonnet and I were talking earlier. I don't think that's going to happen, but she kind of does. I don't think it'll happen.
Well, from what someone told me, a story about him, when the show was on, Carol Connor was playing, very racist, very like that, and director did not want to talk to him because he was really afraid of him, thinking that he was like that in real life. When he finally got a chance to, or not director, but someone, I forget who it was, and he did meet him. He's just, Carol Connor was nice as can be, nothing like his character.
And that's what a lot of these people don't understand. It's called acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely good. That's definitely true, because a lot of these actors are not like that in freaking real life, folks.
They really thought they were going to be meeting Archie Bunker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, also, what about the show, The Jeffersons?
Mm-hmm.
There was a little, the way George Jefferson called one of his neighbors who was white, and I'll say it, honky.
Mm-hmm.
There, I said it.
Well, you're out to go after Gilligan's Island. There wasn't no black guy in Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, there was no black men in Gilligan's Island. They were all a bunch of...
And how was up with that?
Wait a minute. You had a nice, sexy woman there. Remember? Ginger?
Man, it was more of a Don Adams.
No, but it's just like it had. And also another thing, as I was telling Neil backstage, Neil number two was there. So I don't, and now I know Andy's got that burnt in her head of Neil in a tutu.
Make sure I shave my legs.
No, but I mean, is like now you see on TV is underwear commercials, bra commercials, pads commercials. Now it's depends for those people who have a little leakage. But it's like I never had that.
Where are you going with this? Where is this headed?
Neil, Neil number two. Sorry, he's in left. No, but what I'm saying is you never seen that. I know. I hate this. I bring this up because they should be offended by that. Because I never saw that as a kid.
Right.
Leakage commercials? Is that what you're saying?
No. Yeah,
You mentioned it, so.
I mentioned like the pins, so I had to use the reason why they have. They're called adult diapers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have no shame.
I hear it. No, I got him on laughter roll. No, but I had to think of something because what else do you wear adult diapers for?
Leakage.
Yeah, but Paul, please, no. Okay, I can.
We were talking. Neil brought up about the TARDIS.
Oh yeah.
We can I can see them changing it. When the season comes back, right?
Yeah, but you know
it's
how they
chameleon circuit, and then no longer a police box.
Yeah, but they're gonna say, well, they fixed the chameleon circuit that's been broken for 54 plus years, and you finally repair it.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah, I mean that would do it. A lot of people. Well, the show's already dead as it is now. That's the way I look at it. But I mean, the reason why I bring up those commercials, if they're offended by statue and stuff, why not showing that crap on TV? That should be, that I grew up with not seeing that. And then what I'm just pointing out is we're seeing that now on TV, but then there's people getting offended by statues, by certain shows. Why not that sort of shit on TV? Those commercials that are more or less supposed to be personal type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand your point.
Yeah, it's just I don't get.
Well, we're much more sensitive.
Yeah.
Everyone's much more sensitive now, so they can show stuff like that.
Yeah, and Andy just said the doctor was also a man for 54 years, and that's true, and that's true. If they fix the police box, it's the same thing as they're getting rid of the man. That would. Yeah, don't want to get rid. I want a man. Now the way I look at it is, I was talking about this. If you had a good actors who could carry sci-fi, who knows how to play sci-fi, I could see playing the doctor. Okay, but for me, Jodie can't. She doesn't have the chops to do it. So I want a man. I want my man back.
I think if Hollywood and the entertainment industry in general had their way right now,
yeah.
I mean, good Lord, you of course, a lot of these older shows that feature primarily white people would be gone. They would be discontinued. They wouldn't be they would no longer. There'd be no replay value for those shows at all.
Yeah,
I think that's why they're redoing them all now too, right? So they can change all that.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing is, also look what they did to the movie of Charlie's Angels. They made Bosley a female. That even pissed me off. That pissed me off to no return because I grew up with Charlie's Angels. I hear you. I hear Andy in the background.
Yeah, give me a second.
The BBC went to court to win the rights from Metropolitan Police for the police box, and it cost them a fortune to do it. So hopefully it's safe. Yeah, that's true because they had get the rights.
Well, they fought for the rights for it, so they should
Yeah, it should be.
honor that, right?
Okay.
The $6 million man would not feature a white straight man if they remade it.
No, they'd recast
Be some non-binary
Idris
transgender something.
Idris Elba. Everything wants to be changed to have Elvis Hyder in it, so why not?
I could not see the $6 million man not being a white dude, because then that's in their childhood memory.
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah, it can happen. That can happen. What about the bionic woman? Make her a black woman instead of a white woman.
Or
It's
change
never
it to a
enough.
man.
Yeah, it's never enough. Whatever they do, it'd be it's like anything. These people cannibalize their own because if you have, like, for example, the first woman doctor in Doctor Who, right? Well, she's not transgender. I mean, you get a transgender woman. Well, she's a white transgender. Where's the black one? Yeah, I mean, so it's diversity is never diverse enough.
Yeah,
They eat their own.
Yeah.
Oh, she said, I think this might be about the bionic woman. She would have, or I don't know if that means bionic woman. She would have to be black transgender woman.
With the bionic woman? Yeah.
Is that the bionic woman?
The bionic parts.
Good. I don't want that image burned in my brain. That's bad enough. I'm probably gonna have a
It's better than seeing an image of me in a tutu.
yeah, Neil too. Yeah, she meant the Maya woman. Yeah, I would hate to see that. I would hate to see that. I mean, if they're just ruining everything that we grew up, with our childhood. I mean, look at Batman and Robin. Would they be offended about the Batman and Robin TV show?
Probably because it didn't have enough black people in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look what Paul Brand did you. Mr. Hyde, notice the shirt Jodie wears. It looks like the rainbow flag. The agendas never stop.
Yeah, it also looks like she's from the planet Mork.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's another show. It's like a lot of these older shows that we grew up in the 80s. You saw. Oh, what would they do about Different Strokes? Now, even though it had black people in it, it was a white man raising two black kids.
Well,
I mean,
of course,
they weren't
it would be a black dude raising two white kids, and of course, he'd have to, de-whiteify them.
Yeah, that's right.
Whiteify them?
Yeah, take the Caucasian right out of them.
Yeah,
if possible.
son, we don't talk like that. This is what you say.
See, now you got Neil number 2 in the Google mode on that one. I mean, a lot of these good shows. I mean, when you look at Happy Days, there was no black people in that one. I've never seen a black person in Happy Days.
Well, now that you said that, someone's listening, and they're going to reboot Happy Days now, and it's going to be all black.
Oh my God!
You're a trendsetter, Michelle.
But the thing is, when they reboot these shows, though, that's the thing. When they rebooted Charlie's Angels, for example, and like the director, I forget what her name was.
Elizabeth
Yeah.
Banks.
Who is it? Yeah,
Elizabeth Banks.
that's right. Yeah, and she got real upset at the fact that
Nobody watched
if this show doesn't make a lot of money, it just goes to show that there's just all this misogyny out there. Fact is, it just never crossed her mind, as it probably doesn't cross other directors and producers' minds, that when these shows aren't popular, it's either because did you ever think maybe there just isn't enough demand for Charlie's Angels? I mean, did that ever cross your noggin? I mean,
yeah, back in the day, it was back in the 80s, it was or 70s or like 70s, somewhere around there. It was popular, but you bring it back now, it's like it doesn't click.
Charlie's Angels had its day. It's not.
Oh, I can't believe what Andy just said. Wonder Woman would be transgender, called Wagner Woman. I had to laugh at that one because I like the Wonder Woman.
So would Bionic Woman, right?
Yeah. I am for inclusion and diversity. So create new roles for other actors and let them stand on their talents. Haley Atwell was brilliant as Agent Carter. No agenda, just a good show. I've never seen Agent. I think I saw a little bit of Agent Carter, but I would have to agree. Yeah.
Haley Atwell is a fantastic actor. I mean, she
Yeah,
would do well as like Romana.
Yeah, but like I said, it's just it's taking all these good shows up that entertain us and get us to laugh. That they have some comedy in them, just because some people find offense.
yeah.
Are they going to go after the Pledge of Allegiance because it says under God?
Yeah, they've already gone at. They went after that years ago. That one's been on the chopping block for ages now. But I don't really. I mean, a lot of it is a cash grab for some of these reboots. I mean, if you really, obviously they really thought Ghostbusters 2016 was going to be out of this world, but
it was a flop.
Show like that, how can you even expect it to be popular when it's hard enough? It would be hard enough to reboot that show with an all-male cast that wasn't the original cast members. That would be difficult enough.
Yeah.
And then you want to change the gender? You think that's gonna fly? It's like I said, it just that was
and totally ignore what came before it too, right?
That's
where they went wrong too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was one time I got cable, I was switching, flip channel surfing, and I came across Ghostbusters with the women. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna see just a little bit of it. I've seen, clips and pieces, and I thought, well, I'll sit here and watch this, see, and it's like it wasn't even halfway in there, and I'm like, okay, click. It's like I knew it was just a little bit into it. I'm like, I don't like it. It's just all Paul says that's protected by the Constitution under. Okay, what is protected under the Constitution?
The God, you're talking about the.
Oh, the Pledge of Allegiance. Yeah, that would be. And okay, here. I gotta see. It says remaking and recreating history in established roles. I don't support. Oh, probably talk about changing and recreating something with a different gender. Or, I mean, I hate to see what they're going to do about James Bond.
Well, they changed the Canadian national anthem. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, but we used to say. In all of us used to say, and all thy sons command was in our national anthem. They changed it to all of us command and took the sons out. So even the stupid comes here.
I don't think they'll change the national anthem for us, because that would be Some people would have fighting words over that one.
Yeah, they'd riot.
Yeah, Neil number 2 said here he told me about the Confederate flag at NASCAR. They
Yep.
and I
They,
heard that they're banning it from NASCAR, the Confederate flag being
I
sold.
can see that.
yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of the, I can't remember the driver's name, but he threatened to quit because they were going to ban it.
I wonder if he did quit
I don't
because
think it
they
was
did
a
ban
well-known driver neither, so I don't think
it.
they
Yeah.
would care. But
Um,
I think we're just approaching a time though where I think there will come a time when they're gonna. I mean, they're gonna be pulling down Abraham Lincoln's visage. They're gonna be, we got a long way to go.
yeah.
It's a long trudge to the end, and
Well,
this is just the beginning.
Abraham Lincoln was the one that freed the slaves.
Yeah, he said a few things though.
Well, we don't always agree with those people, like the, different presidents or the people in history. We may not always agree with what they said and done, but I mean, look how far we've came.
Hmm.
Before the shit hit the fan.
it's taking them down or covering them up. It's just like sweeping them under the carpet or sweeping
It's
under the bed. It doesn't
it's
change anything.
it's like telling us all history was wrong. It's kind of like they want to sugarcoat history.
Instead, you teach people about it and show them what was wrong. You don't destroy it and take it
No,
away. I think that's
it,
stupid.
Yeah, these are
it
people that think that if you erase something, that you're erasing the thing that they don't like. You're actually you're making a change.
Yeah, but the thing of it is this change good or is this change bad? You have to, it's like it's like this. I told Neil number two, and I'm not gonna sleep. I have to say it that way, or if not, I'll laugh. Um, about we were talking about Christopher Columbus. He did not discover freaking America like we were taught in school, but he was given it. There was another person who discovered it. So I
Who
want not.
discovered it?
I think his name was Americans or whatever. I forget. A friend of mine from Texas. Not Andy. I had a friend. He lives in Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, but used to live in. Oh God, I can't.
You discovered it?
He told me whose name was.
Oh,
He used to live in Fort Worth. He played the game. He plays the game Second Life. That's how I met him. But it was another man that did discover it, but they picked Columbus because Columbus was the man. He sailed. He sailed. I don't know. I don't know why they picked his name, but I would like to see him removed because he
yeah.
discovered it
Leif,
underneath.
Leif Erikson was his name. He was a Viking explorer who beat Columbus to America. It was
Yeah.
nearly 500 years before Christopher Columbus found America.
Yeah, see, that's it. But why did they give it to Christopher Columbus when Christopher Columbus didn't even set foot in this country? Is beyond me.
I don't know.
But like I said, I rather have it named Indigenous People Day. That's Native Americans call them indigenous. Don't ask me why. Right here, Paul Burnt says that's a touchy topic. The history is about the Confederacy during the Civil War. People associate Confederacy with slavery. The Civil War was about free labor advantage the southern states. Okay, trying to figure out the rest of that. Um, but yeah, the Confederate flag was not really about slavery. It was the North flag. It was the southern flag between the North and the South during the Civil War. It wasn't a slave. It wasn't for slavery. And then he says the Confederate flag history. Confederate flag is history and should be remembered. a lot of prejudiced people have adopted the flag as a symbol. There lies the issue. One has nothing to do with the other, but that gets lost.
Yeah, the new flag has got rainbows and fancy colors on it.
No, but that's the truth. I agree with Paul on that one. A lot of them, it's the true meaning gets lost because all they see and think of it, it's racist. It's about slavery. It's history, and they forget the true meaning of it. Do you agree with me, Jason, on that one? Or
Of course, but you can't expect these people to engage in much critical thinking. I mean, I call them flat earthers.
flat earther?
Yeah,
Okay.
flat earthers, because flat earthers tend to believe stuff without, exercising sound judgment. They're just kind of gullible.
Oh, it's kind of like some of
Call
the
them
people.
morons.
It's kind of like some people thought the Earth was flat.
Right. There's
Okay,
people that
that's
still think the earth is flat today. There's a whole society devoted to it, despite the evidence we have in, what is it, 300 years or whatever, having already discovered the earth was round.
And the people, in
Many
space
moon
taking
ago.
pictures of it and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
That's all
this is-
fake news.
Yeah, never mind that we have footage from outer space.
Yeah. Oh, I was
It's all fake
listen.
news.
I was listening to your story with Andy, and you guys were mentioning about the Japanese and stuff, about camps and stuff being put in
Oh, yeah.
American Japanese. Well, it's because whenever the World War II and Pearl Harbor got bombed, the country was afraid about these American Japanese were gonna,
Spies.
spies and bomb and, attack our country from within. So they figured, well, we'll just contain it until the war's probably until and
Yeah.
then when the war's over. And I look at this, I look at what we were scared of the Japs when they bombed Pearl Harbor and the Japanese American. Well, the Muslim with basically Arabs, those from the Middle East, hit the Twin Towers. And everybody thought all those people from the Middle East, all of them are bad. Well, I look at it as I was raised. You got good and bad of every nationality,
Mhm.
and that's the way I look at it. It's because I look at it now. Everybody, when that happened, a lot of people were in fear and looking at those people from the Middle East as, oh, they're bad. They're kind of they're scheming and they're conniving and stuff. They don't see that some of them are good. I mean, do you believe that there's good and bad even with those people from the Middle East?
Sure. I think there's a lot of extremists who've co-opted the name Islam, and they're doing some, sort of like these Christian extremists who go out and commit terrorism in the name of Christianity.
Yeah,
Same thing.
oh yeah, same thing. Well, you got Jim Jones was the one that had everybody drink the Kool-Aid.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of people now have drunk the Kool-Aid, with all that's going on, accepted, bowed the knee. Paul Brent says the Civil War was about the free labor the South had versus the North during the start of the Industrial Revolution. Slavery was a side issue. Actually, people can't see beyond emotions and think rational. Geez, it just seems like Paul's all full of a lot of lot of tidbits there. Some
Yeah.
things you didn't, some things we didn't know. But like I said, is they should look at the true meaning of the Confederate flag instead of getting all bent out shape.
Why are you getting bent out of shape over slavery anyway? There's not a black person alive today that endured slavery.
No, and plus we still have slavery to today. It's still going on. You got sex slaves. You got mostly you hear a lot about the slavery trade.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's slaves going on now. Okay, here's what Neil One says: flat earthers make me laugh. You can't see the curve of the earth from a plane, and they still don't believe it.
Yeah, it's true. That's why I say they deny reality. They just, it's right there in front of their face, and they choose to believe something that, because they just can't seem to digest or understand what's clearly irrational. So this is why I call a lot of these leftist liberal types flat earthers. It just they're willing to buy into something that's completely irrational without even giving it any critical thought.
Now you give me a new name to call those people.
That's the way I've been calling, because that's it's like arguing with flat earthers. It really is.
More polite than calling them idiots.
Well, it is, but idiot is so it just. I think even the liberals. That's the thing, is even the liberals would balk at the. Of course, who's not going to balk at idiot? But flat earther just really does kind of sum up, and it's not something you can really say too much about the conservatives.
And all this talk about the Civil War makes me want to get out my DVD of North and South miniseries.
Which one?
You ever see the North and South miniseries? It was done, I'd say, late 80s, early 90s. It had Patrick Swayze and Hal Holbrook played Abraham Lincoln. It's you can watch it on YouTube. It's actually really good.
There was a movie. I'm trying to think who was in it. It's The Patriot, I think it is. I think there's a movie called The Patriot
with Mel Gibson.
Yeah, that was it was about around the wartime, and I saw some of that, and it was like really good. I would like to watch it. I think I may have watched all of them. I'm not sure. Slavery in America ended 155 years ago. Remember history, learn from it, live forward, and don't be held captive by. Yep, I agree with you, Paul. I agree with you on that one. And here's the flat earthers need to walk off the edge of the world. The Flat Earth Society has chapters all around the globe. Just ask them, they'll tell you. Now you're the first one I heard that, and now he knows what you're talking about. So now I got a new name for those people who do not accept the truth.
Yeah, that's what I call them. But I think this whole issue with slavery, though, and the wanting to paint over the General Lee's. Look, like I said, there's no living black person today. I don't even know the last living black person that endured slavery. Jesus, that's like decades and decades. It's probably in the 20th century, but it's way back there. And stuff like that just pisses me off, because it's like, you didn't endure slavery, and we don't have. I don't even know, would any white person today even want a slave? I'm talking law-abiding citizens.
No,
we've changed a hell of a lot since 1865.
Yeah, none of us would. I don't think anybody would want us, because to us, everybody's supposed to be equal. But a lot of these people who are extremists don't want us people to be equal with them. And if we don't agree with them, they have a problem with it. You see that?
Yeah, I agree.
What about you, Neil?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
I agree.
Every time
we've come so far, but we've gone backwards in time. Kind of, it's so stupid.
It's like I heard someone say, is they're sitting us all back 50 years. All this stuff that we've came forward, they're pushing it back 50 years.
Yeah. They don't see the civil rights movement as that big of a leap forward. They're still stuck in this mentality that they have all these rights that are being that they don't have. They think they're just devoid of all these rights, like that. This whole idea of white privilege, for example, I've thought about doing a stream about that, but I mean, I don't think all the Doctor Who fans want to hear me rave about white privilege. But yeah, that's another one. It just ties into all of that, you know.
And you get all these actors and actresses that are coming out and fucking, saying sorry and everything else. It's like they have no grip on real life, and here they are, saying sorry. It's so stupid.
Neil once says, "I do." Liz tells me, "Does that make me a slave?" And then Liz says, "Only when I crack the whip." Now, see, we can laugh about that, but someone would take that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Someone would take that wrong. It seems like Paul has got. I think he's got a lot of information. Slavery ended in 1865 with a long-term memory start. If long-term memory starts at 3 or 4, that means a child born a slave would been 70 plus. When the war started in 1941, an adult would have died during the early 1900s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you got a whole bunch of white people that are contrite and having to. I mean, I've seen it. They kneel down and apologize for something that the people they're apologizing to never endured.
Yeah,
they're getting tied up. These white people are getting tied up in marching in the streets, behind black people saying with signs and shirts that says "I'm sorry."
Yeah,
it's like
they're washing their feet, for crying out loud.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I just saw what Paul Bryant said, and I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. No. I think Neil one started something when he said that. Oh God. But also on top of that, I'm going to say this: is if you tell this is going past. I'm going to talk about a different subject here. It's like if someone tells you they're in a BDSM lifestyle, you automatically think the worst. And there's a lot of negative, and I know, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying it's the same thing. BDSM, DNS. People say, "Oh, you're dom and a slave." They think of the worst. It's submissive. It doesn't mean your actual slave, but some people would take it that. I mean, I know that you probably laugh and think it's funny, but there's people that would get bent out of shape if someone says, "Oh, I'm in a DNS relationship."
Yeah.
It's, "Oh, you're a slave." That's not the case. It's a submissive.
Yeah.
And it's like people would take that wrong because and I mean, even BDSM, because you have a dom and a sub, basically. I'm just using that too because that also falls into people will look at that wrongly. I'm surprised that hasn't. That's the underground. There's not a whole lot of people. That's not been, well known. It's not out there. So it's a under subculture. It's like those flat earthers. They probably have their own little groups that we don't know about. It's kind of like the BDSM lifestyle. There's like an underground type thing, but it goes on. But if you tell someone you're in a DS dom and submissive relationship, they think, "Oh yeah, you're a slave." It's not. It's totally different. You're just being a submissive to someone who's dominant. It doesn't mean that they're like a master back in the day. Back whenever you had the slavery back in the 1700s. It's not like that. It's more like people think worked on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that's probably not well known like the statues and the.
Well, I hope we're all learning something here.
I just learned a lot about BDSM.
I hope this is knowledge we can all take with us after this.
I'm going to go buy one of those masks and cover my face up and scare the shit out of my wife.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Have you ever guys seen the movie 50 Shades of Grey?
God, yes, and I'm so sorry for it.
Well, I haven't either. So,
My wife forced me.
What'd you say?
I said my wife forced me to watch it. I'm her slave.
Oh, you should tell her I'm not gonna watch that movie. But when you think about it, I'm surprised they don't go after that movie because that's and the book is a well popular book, and the movie was well known. I'm surprised they don't go after something like that because it shows a man overpowering a woman, being dominant over the woman. Think about that. A man dominating a woman. I mean, women should
Yeah.
like women's rights. We have equal rights just like the man.
Wasn't it of her own volition? I mean, did he force her to do
Uh,
this stuff?
Neil
I
number
don't know.
two.
I haven't seen the show, and maybe Neil could. I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Hyde, go ahead. Explain the movie.
Well, how do I say this? Okay, she was. Fuck, I don't know. It was. It was consensual. It wasn't consensual at the beginning until she sort of got, she got into it, and then it became consensual. And then throughout the three movies, it was all about the rough stuff.
Oh, Andy just said it was her own violation.
Yes.
That's what she did.
I remember I went. I can't believe we're actually we've gone from talking about slavery to talking about 50 Shades of Grey. But okay, so I'm in the movie theater and I'm sitting beside. And the movie theater was packed, for crying out loud. It was like you should have seen the amount of uncomfortable dudes sitting in this movie theater with their significant others watching this movie. I've never felt so uncomfortable in my life. So we're sitting there. And there's two young girls beside me where we were sitting, and there's one scene where he gets out this ball gag, and they start going to town with the whips and everything else, and this one girl goes to her friend, "Is that really how it works?" And I couldn't start. Like I started bursting out laughing. I couldn't help myself because it was like this girl's getting this whole education watching this movie.
Yeah, but
the look on her face was just priceless through the whole thing.
But the whole thing is they're going after. I mean, that right there, 50 Shades of Grey, even it's from a book, is also controversial. So there's probably some people that are offended by that movie. I know it's a stupid thing, but it's
Oh, there are. Not enough to take it off the market, but
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. How did she talk you into going to the theater to see that, Neil? How did you get roped into that? I can't.
It was her anniversary.
Oh, really?
And it was her turn to choose the movie.
Gift? You had to make an.
And it was her turn to choose the movie. So she's like, "What do you want to go see?" She goes, 50 Shades of Grey. And I looked at her and I'm like, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, it'll be fun." Yeah.
By the way, Andy just said, "I can't believe we've gone from General Lee to 50 Shades." I'm sorry. He told me to write down what I want to talk about. So mine's going.
So yeah, I said write down what you want to talk about, and you actually put down 50 Shades of Grey.
No, Lizzie just said the 50 Shades book were bad enough. I read the first two and got bored. No way I was going to watch the movies. Okay, I think I've seen clips of it, but I'm just using it because it's the reason why I'm bringing this up is it probably offends other people as well, just like the statue of the General Lee.
My wife was reading the books and she was really getting into it. I was getting scared for my life.
Honestly, it's not going to be offending many guys because there's just not enough. I mean, there's not enough of them out there to want to go see it.
If she ended up showing off the ball gag and a funky mask, I was going to be out of there.
No, but I was just saying is the way this guy was treating the woman will probably come up in the uproar offended by the movie. But like you just said, there was more women at the movie theater with their uncomfortable significant others.
There's more
70.
women in the theater, but the
Yeah.
guys that were there, we all kind of looked uncomfortable.
Probably because the show apparently taps into some, unspoken fetish that a lot of
Yeah.
women have. I'm guessing. I don't know. It's the only
No,
thing I can figure.
but what I'm saying is there are some people that it probably did offend. We never know. It's
I'm
like,
sure there are. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of people that probably offended, but there has to be enough to want to,
Yeah.
take it off the
Oh,
market
yeah.
and raise a stink.
yeah, but the generally and the faulty towers and the Gone with the Wind and the statues, those are all the ones that have enough of people say that it offends them.
And racism is kind of the it's the protected species right now. It's not protected. Let me rephrase that. It's one of those topics it's a very hot button topic right now.
Yeah.
So without a doubt, that's going to be something that everyone puts under a lens.
Yeah. But then you also got the Ku Klux Klan too. Wish we could get rid of them.
They're pretty much irrelevant at this point.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are, aren't they?
Yeah, you haven't heard much, but has the skinheads been, or have they died down?
I'm sure the Ku Klux Klan are quietly putting their mask or their little, the face covers over in their little
closets.
drawers.
Yeah.
And they're like, "All right, no one's gonna know you're in there, buddy."
What about the skinheads? Or has that died down? Because I remember that when I was younger.
If you're not hearing about it on the news very much,
Okay,
it's if they're doing
it's
anything
never-
of relevance, it's going to be on the news.
Okay, then so that died down along with the Ku Klux Klan. All this stuff.
Well, I think the skinheads are more prominent. Don't get me wrong, but they're not nearly as visible as groups like Black Lives Matter.
Oh, Andy said Antifa needs to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh-oh.
I'm not
So-
too familiar with that. I heard the term the first time when I watched a speech with Trump when he was talking about turning them into a terrorist group. That was the first time I ever heard of them.
Really?
Antifa are skinheads of the left.
Well, they're if you don't, Antifa just stands for anti-fascist. They're basically a group of a lot of them are anarchists, and it's a good admixture of different things.
Racism is emotional trigger and a distraction from the larger and deeper issue. But I digress. Okay.
I'll be right back. I got to use the
Okay.
bathroom.
Okay. Thanks for the warning. No, I mean,
Because bad news anarchy is never a good thing. Never. This whole Antifa thing is all new to me because
Yeah,
like
I
said,
know.
the first time I heard it was, when they labeled them a terrorist group, and I'm like,
Yeah,
who are they?
yeah, I've never really heard of them until all of a sudden people start talking about it. I'm like, okay.
Now,
what-
are they still rioting down there, or is it
I haven't.
calmed down?
Mm, uh, they're more protesting, but there's no destruction writing that I've heard of. It's kind of died down a bit. But I think they should not have protests or right. They should not have protests at all during this coronavirus because, that means to be a crowd and you're around a lot of people. You don't know if someone has the virus or not. So that's why I didn't like the idea.
Well, isn't something like 200 cases showed back up in Florida? Did it not?
Oh yeah, all up here, not here in Ohio, but I think from my dad says that a certain state, I think down the West Coast, I believe that it started up.
I'm just glad I'm getting my hair cut on Friday night, man, because I'm like, it's driving me friggin' nuts.
Well, Andy got her hair cut, so she's
Yep.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that gets long on my hair is my freaking bangs. That's the only thing that gets bad. It starts getting in my eyes, and I gotta get a haircut. My hair's got to be real bad before I get a haircut.
I have wings right now. That's
Yeah,
how long
yeah.
mine- Forget Red Bull. Just get your hair long like mine, and that gives you wings.
Rioting and looting isn't productive. Long term, it's self destructive and has the opposite effect of any substantive, if I said that wrong, forgive me, change. I have
Yeah,
certain
completely.
words like have
Yep.
ever sometimes I have words I have a hard time saying. So
It's not productive. Most of the guys that are out there looting and rioting, I'm sure there are some Black Lives Matters guys, black dudes out there doing it, but a healthy number of those people aren't even connected with Black Lives Matter. They're hired
Yeah, they're just
goons.
just going out and destroying stuff for the sake
oh
of
said 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 I can't say that.
Saduku.
Said he says I live in the home of the Beatles. They're even graffitiing Penny Lane.
I saw that on a picture. It's
Whoa, I
crazy.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like yeah, they're probably okay. Here we go. I wonder how a goat gets a haircut. And since you talked about your hair needing to be cut, Mr. Neil,
Hmm.
since he said that, I thought I would put that there. I didn't want any more goat jokes. It was from his stream. I'll never live that one down.
Nope.
But nope, nope. It's with me forever on face on YouTube. Um, but the thing is I'm surprised. I mean, have they gone? Have they? Are they doing anything with comedians? Because I know with shows, I wonder if they're going after some of the comedians.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wonder. Oh,
I
I
think they're
wonder.
still going after poor old Dave Chappelle.
Oh, see, I don't know anything about the comedians because I don't. Because my favorite comedian is in the land of a dust of Robin Williams, the best comedian that I know of. You know,
Yeah, comedy is under full on assault.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't give you any recent examples, but I know Bill Burr has talked about it. A lot of comedians have talked about it. Who's the guy who directed Joker? I can't remember his name.
oh God,
Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. That guy got out of comedy and specifically directed Joker because there's just too much heat connected with comedy.
yeah,
And I don't know if you guys ever watched Comedian in Cars Getting Coffee, but Jerry Seinfeld, I can't remember the guest he had on there, but he talked about how comedy is it's so under attack so much right now. You're afraid to say something that's going to offend somebody, and it shouldn't be that way. Comedy is there so you can make people laugh, you know
yeah,
insult somebody, but you insult somebody in the right way, because there's a difference between insulting someone
to
and
be
poking
mean.
fun at someone to be funny.
Hmm.
But then there's the other side where when someone's doing it to be an asshole and to be mean. There's a big difference, but a lot of people, they're so sensitive now, they don't care about that.
What do you, Jason? What do you think about the bullying on Facebook, on Twitter, through the you bullying
On
people through
social
the
media.
computer? Yeah, social media through the computer.
I mean, I think this is all part of. See, we were just talking about comedians and how they're under attack for people being
Yeah,
too sensitive, right?
yeah,
And then you have people who they're, I mean, let's say they're bullies on the left. Maybe you got some on the right too, but in general, you just got to exercise in all of these cases. The problem is people don't know how to exercise or have any sort of emotional responsibility. I mean, you have a bunch of people that don't seem to know how to control their emotions. They put the responsibility on other people. Offense is taken. It's not given. So yeah, I think that's really what this. There used to be the old adage, "Sticks and stones may break my bones,"
the
right?
worst
But you don't
one
have
I've ever
anyone
heard.
talking about that anymore.
No, It's a saying. That's the thing. I always grew up sick and when I got teased in school. I was always told sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, the matter of fact, words do hurt because if you see something mean word wise, it's there. It cannot be taken back. It cannot be erased because it's there.
So you think that words actually do hurt.
Yes, words can cut like a knife.
All right.
Trust me.
So here's a I guess here's a thought experiment.
Okay.
Do the same words that hurt you hurt other people the same way?
No, no, that's what words that hurt me and cut me like mine may not bother someone else.
Right.
So it's I see your point there because not every what someone said to me and it hurt me so bad, but if they do the same thing and talk to another person using the same words and it doesn't bother that person, that's them. It's just different things that are said to people may hurt them, and then some it just doesn't bother some other ones. I can see that.
Right. You have to ask yourself, why does it bother some people and the same words spoken to them don't affect them? Because it's not the words themselves.
It's how
They're being
said.
interpreted.
Yeah,
If they're important to you and you're sensitive about it, of course it can hurt. But the point is that, people who are asleep aren't affected by, what you say. If,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So it's not really the words, it's how you interpret them. And people don't know how to control how they interpret what they hear in such a way that it doesn't affect them. They don't have enough self-confidence or they don't have whatever.
yeah,
But it's not my responsibility. I mean, just as a matter of being a person who's not an asshole and just to get along in the world, it's probably preferable not to go around trying to offend people, But if you take offense, it's because of how you have interpreted the words. And there's people right now, Jordan Peterson. I think that guy has a good, he's got his head on his shoulders. If you don't know who he is, he's a pretty famous psychologist. I believe he's a psychologist. And he's kind of gone over this quite a bit. And if you haven't seen that guy in a discussion, he's a good example of somebody who really does talk very, very seriously about people not being able to take emotional responsibility.
Lucy said here, psychological bullying in some cases is worse than physical bullying because cuts and bruises will heal, but the words can stay with you forever. Not everyone, but for a lot of people, and that's the truth. That's the truth. Those words will stick with you for the for forever, and you'll keep remembering that. Uh, have you ever seen Doctor Phil? Now, I've watched his show. He's pretty spot on about a lot of things that he talks about that he has. He's a real. I think he's a psychologist. Not sure.
Dr. Phil?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, he's he's pretty good when it comes to certain issues. Um, but you just some of these words that you say can stick with the person. Now, and I'm going to tell you this: when I first started doing my record videos, and I saw a lot of dislikes on my videos when I first started recording, I kind of got depressed that I had all these dislikes, not many likes. That's because I had, you know, I didn't really, don't have a real good image of myself, and but I'm working on that. Now,
Hmm.
there's some people like me that don't really have a good self image, but we're working on to better ourselves. But someone that would come along that say something that would totally gut me, and then some people that have this confidence, it wouldn't bother them. But someone like me who's still working on it, it would.
Everyone is self-conscious about something. Everyone has a trigger point, something that they're sensitive about that really does bother them. The thing is, it does come down to that person's interpretation of what's being said to. It has to go in your ear, and you have to think about what's being said, and those words you give those words meaning.
Yeah.
Those associations to those words are different for everybody, and the things that you associate those words with are going to be particular and specific to you. So you have to work on you so that you can get to a place where the words, you are the person is the one who decides what those words mean. I mean, because words, different people have different interpretations of, based on the same thing. I may hear that, sure, if I hear that I'm ugly or another, it's not going to affect me because I know I'm ugly, but somebody else, who they have a sensitivity about that. I mean, it doesn't take much to set that guy off and go down to the post office with a gun, so everybody can hear the same thing and come to a different interpretation and react differently, but you can't expect the world to change. You have to change. You have to be in control of your emotions, and you have to learn how to do that. But expecting the world to walk around on its toes and because, like I said, nobody knows what upsets me. And if we all expect everyone to walk around and not say things that offend other people, the problem is we don't know what other people find offensive. So the solution isn't to ask everyone just to not be offensive. It's to take some emotional responsibility, learn how to interpret things in such a way that it doesn't affect you, and move on. You can let that stuff slide off your back. Words only have as much power as you give them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like, you go into a party or a get together with people, and the first thing you have to say now is, so before we talk and interact, what insults you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost getting to that point,
Yeah.
It's like we don't want to offend anybody, so let's just get it out in the open, So
yeah, it's the same thing with when you're with like this consensual sex. I mean, it just now I'm going to put my hand on your waist. Is it okay if I touch your hair? Can I? I mean, it just comes down to you can't do anything without asking. I mean, look, I'm not saying you should go out and think it's okay to rape women, but it gets to a ridiculous level with that as well. So
without going into any details there, because I'm going to put 18 plus on this stream. Whatever stream I do, I'm going to have to put 18 plus, especially when I drop the F-bomb.
Well, especially when we were talking about 50 Shades of Grey.
And me picturing you with tutu. You're Andy.
I'm shaving my legs, I'm telling you. There's going to be a picture on Twitter at some point.
Oh no. Rocker says, if collectively we stop saying things that may offend someone, we would live in a world of silence.
Yep.
That is the truth.
That's what society is coming to, right? A world of silence. When you go out shopping, keep your head down, don't look at anybody.
Oh, by the way, Sudoku said right to the point. I'm not saying it.
Yeah. Can I get you on video saying it's okay? Because if I don't have it on video,
that's right. Yeah.
That's what it's getting down to.
Let me just hit me record on my phone here and say it out loud.
Yeah, and Paul Burnett says the word has gotten very sensitive in the last 10 years. I agree with that one. It's like everything is sensitive, and you can't. It's like, can I say? Well, let's get this out open because I don't want to offend you, but this is why this is why I want to talk about. So I just want to make sure it doesn't offend you. It's like, God, it's kind of like we're gonna be walking on pins and needles because we're not gonna know what we're gonna say. We can't go out and say hi to our neighbor without them.
I was at the grocery store yesterday, and I was coming out, and there was a younger woman, who was coming in the door. So, as a gentleman, I held the door for her. Well, she wouldn't go in. She just looked at me and said, "No, it's okay." I'm like, all right, fuck you then. And I closed the door and walked away.
it's like no chivalry anymore. A man can't open the door for the woman. And then it's just right there. It's like she got offensive just because you were being gentlemanly and being courteous that you opened the door. She found offensive. Now that
I assume it was because she, she assumed that you were doing it because she's a woman. Never mind that it's just a nice thing to do.
And I wasn't wearing a tutu.
the Plato Society is getting closer to reality every year. Don't ask me what that means. That was Paul. But the whole thing is, hey, if I'm in a place and a guy opens the door, thank you. I would like even if a woman will open the door, I would thank that person. I've done it before. I've be coming out and I saw coming like in the bank and there's a person coming there and I hold the door. I always get a thank you for holding it. Open the door because I want to be nice. Yeah, I'm a woman, but if a woman sees a man holding open the door for her, wouldn't she think as, oh, how nice is this guy? He's holding the door open. But you know what is women, they want to be better than men, and they think that is dead. They want to be able to do things themselves.
There's a lot of women who just want to be treated like women by what we commonly refer to as men. There's a lot of women who just want to play the role of a woman who aren't trying to, be a man and enjoy being feminine.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, chivalry is dead now. I mean, my late fiance, when he was alive, we would walk down the sidewalk here where I lived at. He would walk on the outside towards the road. I would walk toward the inside. Now, some women would think that's offensive. Man walks on the outside because if the car comes over the curb, it hits the man instead of the woman. So he protects her. But and he always opened the door for me. I mean, I loved that. I mean, to me, that made me feel special. But now chivalry like that is dead. A man can't open a door for a woman without being bitched at for opening the door. Just like Neil here. Uh-oh. Andy just said something. Chivalry is dead because the feminazis have killed it. Yep, I would agree with her. Do you agree?
Well, I mean, I think it depends on where you live, though, because I open doors for. I mean, if I see someone coming, it doesn't. It could be man or woman. If I see a woman or a man coming, of course I'll hold the door open, and I dare them to tell me or act like I'm doing something wrong. It's like fine, slam.
Oh, here.
That's why they slam the door on me. Like,
okay, Liz said
right.
I saw something the other day saying they should ban Father's Day because it's offensive to single mothers. God, that would be stupid.
Flat earthers.
That's
there's going to be a single Mother's Day now. There's going to be Father's Day. There's going to be a Mother's Day. Single Mother's Day.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of women that are single Mother's Day because of a certain reason. Because of a choice they had to do. Okay, if they're married and something happened to marriage and they become a single mother, that's because there was a reason. But they shouldn't just ban that just because of some mothers who are single mothers because of either their husband died over in like Afghanistan or something, as a soldier.
God forbid these people weren't around in the 50s.
Oh, they'd never make, the people like that probably did exist. The problem is with the internet. I don't know what it is, man. It's like you've got people today and it's just a lot of people who Information goes in one ear, it goes through this meat grinder of of some sort of rationale grinder, and whatever comes out is some kind of twisted pretzel logic that you just, it's like, how do I unwind that? I don't even want to. I don't even, it's like, where do you, how much time do you have to waste that you're going to be upset about Father's Day? Do you not have something?
Well,
you have nothing else to be.
Yeah.
I wonder if the single fathers are going to go after Mother's Day.
Now we got common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of us do.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Paul says feminism has done more harm than good. The social engineering effects have destroyed many of the societal norms we had for centuries. Yeah. Neil one just says that he holds the door open no matter who it is. He holds the door open.
Yeah. It's just a
I do it
courteous
for
thing to
men, I
do.
do it for women. Yeah. It's the polite thing to do.
I hold open the door because I was a Girl Scout, and here's you want to hear something. When I moved out when I was living at home, and I moved out on my own to a metropolitan apartment complex. There was an older guy, and I was moving in, and I held the door open, and I made this, just a slight comment. And he said something to me. I said, "Hey, I'm just here. I respect my elders." Oh my God, he bit my head off. He actually bit my head off. I'm like, okay, great. I'm not going to do this again.
When I was transferred, I used to work for a company called Bad Issues years ago, and I went from the city that I grew up in, and I transferred to Ottawa. And the apartment complex that I lived at in Ottawa I think I was the only white guy that lived there. And one day, I got home. I worked a 12-hour shift. And I was dead tired, and I'm in the elevator, and the elevator was packed. There was black guys, there was Chinese guys, and no one was saying anything. I was just standing there. And again, I'm the only white guy, so I just blurted out, "Who turned the light on?" And everyone just started howling with laughter in this. It broke the end. And I'd see these people, coming and going ever since then. We became good friends. It's about being open and honest, and not being afraid of offending anybody.
Yeah, but if you say that now, you would probably get jumped on.
No problem.
I will say this whole thing of opening doors for people. It does. There are certain things that annoy me, and one of them is I can respect someone opening a door for me, but when I'm 15 feet away from the door, there's this impulse that I feel the need, like I need to jog up to the door so they don't have to hold it, which is, I want to thank them for giving me the inconvenience of having to jog toward the door. That's my choice, of course. So what I do now is just sort of wave them off. Go ahead, because I'm not going to jog. I'm not going to jog to the fucking door. Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that. Like you feel this impulse, like, I don't want to keep them waiting. I could
feel
just
like you have to run
sort of
just to
sloth
get there.
along.
Yeah. It happens to me a few times too. And I currently walk with a cane because I have a bad knee. So, and there's someone holding a door for me, and I'm like 20 feet away, and I'm like, "It's okay, buddy, go ahead."
No, I insist.
Liz says this. Don't get me wrong. I'm independent and strong-willed. Nothing like a crazy-ass feminist. I appreciate men and the things that they do, such as holding doors open and walking by the road. So yeah, I mean, it's like if a man holds the door for me, I'm close by. I'm not like like I have to sprint. And it's like fine, thank you very much, But it's like I never had that happen. It was back there, and they who was holding the door, and I had to sprint up to the door. No, I've never had that situation.
It happens from time to time here. I mean, I don't know where you live, but in Texas, it happens from time to time.
I'm in Ohio.
Okay.
Gender identity is fine. Live how you want.
Yeah, just don't expect me to call you whatever it is you think I should call you if I,
Oh, I've seen these things on there. I don't know what it is. It's like I fill out where they ask you if you're male, female, and it says, and then under say non-binary. I'm like, what the fuck?
You're neither.
Yeah. Were you born a male or were you born a female? And the answer is going to be, I was born either or. Well, you are either or. What you choose to be is your decision, but you weren't born that way.
Yeah.
Hey,
I choose to be a guy that's 6'1" with dark brown hair and blue eyes.
Wait a minute, where's your dark brown?
Yeah,
where's your hair?
That's what I identify with. That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't. There's no hair there.
Doesn't matter.
You got a man.
I identify as having long brown hair.
Okay, in that case, I'm tall, slender. I've got dark hair, and
let's put this way. I'm like my avatar. How's that?
There you go. I identify as a 25-year-old, brown-haired, blue-eyed God among men.
Yeah. But the whole thing is I can't understand that. I'm like, you're either born a male or female. You have a gender. I don't understand why these people say, well, we're not identifying, our kid as a male or female. We're going to let them pick the gender. Look, excuse me, they either have it or they don't.
You're born with a dick, or you're not. One or the other. It's
okay.
You're a male or female.
Okay, you said it. I did. I was keeping my mouth. I was keeping it clean on that part. That's why I'm making it 18 plus.
They try to make a distinction between sex and gender, as sex is what you're attributed with at birth. That's what they ascribe to you. Gender, on the other hand, is what you choose.
It's your choice.
It's like, have you seen a dictionary? Go look in a dictionary. Sex is gender. They're interchangeable words. They want to make a distinction that just really, honestly, shouldn't and doesn't exist.
The one thing, this is a big debate, and still is a debate today, is whether you were either born gay or you just, I was born this way. How can someone be born gay? How could they be born that way to have the gay genes? Right there, that's been a debate for so long. That still goes on.
Well, I have a take on that, which is, okay, let's say you could be born gay. Just hypothetically, right? Let's just say you could be born gay. Well, there's people that are born with congenital heart disease. There's people that are born with, arms that are deformed, and you can be born. What's to say, even if you are born gay, to me, that's a congenital defect. It doesn't mean that it's something necessarily that was intended. I mean, So yeah, that's my take on it. Even if you are born gay, it doesn't mean that that it's not a defect.
No, but it's the whole thing it's been a debate that's been going on, is how do you prove that person is born that way? It's hard to prove.
Yeah.
Now with born conjunctive heart failure or deformed arms, that's a medical issue.
Well, there's people that are born, they think certain people could be born with a proclivity, or not proclivity, but with a predisposition to be schizophrenic. Now, that's one of those things you can't necessarily see, but it's there. Yeah. So I would consider it more in the realm of mental illness, so to speak. That's a harsh way to put it, but I mean, if you just want to talk about congenital issues, it would fall under the, and it was classified as a mental illness at one time, I believe.
Oh, by the way, read Rocket Runner's comment. I'm not reading it out loud.
Yeah, you're either born with a penis or you're not. In Justin Bieber's case, you're
Or
you're you're born a penis. To put it nicely.
He's Canadian. I bow my head in shame.
you bow your head in shame.
If anybody wants him, they can have him.
Okay, please stop with the goat jokes. Please stop with the goat jokes. I'm trying not to let it get to me, but I was like, please, I want this to be clean, no goat jokes chat. No, it's just it was on Mr. Hyde's stream, and I said something, and just they ran with it, and they'll never let me forget it.
She said her mother was a goat.
No, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Says I'm schizophrenic. The voices in my head told me that. It's like, okay, Rocket, you are a little. No, he's not. I like Rocky. He's cool. He's a strange raccoon, but he's funny. I mean, he comes up with some real funny comments. Um, but some of it, the live streams we do with Doctor Who, some of the caption comments that he comes up with, some of them, someone could take some offense to his. And if you think about it, I mean,
Yeah.
But we don't because we're human beings. Right?
yeah, and we all laugh because we know it's funny, but someone might not think it's funny.
Of course. You can't please everybody. You're always
Okay.
you're going to offend somebody's going to be offended somewhere.
Yep.
Okay, here it is. Paul Brent says, Goats take offense at your objection to letting them express their gender. Goat lives master. Stop the hate. I had to put that there. I mean, but someone would probably find that not fitting,
Of
It's like
course.
animal lives matter too. There's animals that are getting hurt and harmed and
Yeah,
stuff.
they're getting the shitty end of the stick, these animals.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I told them, it's all lives matter from your human to animals too. I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot of abuse that goes on with the animal population.
I still like a burger.
No, we're not counting cows. We're counting cats, dogs, snakes, tarantulas,
Yeah. Well,
lizards.
tarantulas, they can abuse those all day long. I don't care. But the cats and the dogs, I have a problem with.
And the good spider's a dead spider.
Okay, Liz says, yeah, good night. Good night sleep, Liz. It's late for her, 1:30.
Bye, Lizzie.
Good
Bye,
idea.
Lizzie. But it's just I know it's like this thing is getting all man when someone says all they focus on when someone says all lives matter. Well, Black lives matter, not all lives matter. It's like, wait a minute here. All lives matter, even include black lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's their whole logic is kind of flawed. I mean, I hear that repeatedly how they get upset at the this mantra of all lives matter. They get upset because their logic is, look, if a house is on fire in the neighborhood, do they go to all houses or do they go to the one that's on fire? And fine, I get the logic there, but if you think about it in a broader context, do all houses that are on fire matter or just the ones that are painted black?
I'm just looking at what Neil said about Lizzie, and I'm not going to go there. I think it started off with the BDSM 50 Shades of Grey. He's running into that. But it's true. If the house is on fire, they're going to go to that house. You know, you got
if they're going to go to any house that's on fire, it's not like we're only dealing with black houses this week. Those are the only ones that are important. Those white houses, they can just burn.
Pink house is first, though.
Yeah.
Well, black and then pink, of course.
Yeah.
Let's put it,
in the rainbow house. Night, Neil 1.
Night, Neil.
But it's just cut funding to the police department. Can you imagine someone calling 911? We'll get back to you in 3 or 5. We'll get back to you.
I saw a meme about that where someone was on a 911 call, and they said, "Well, you defunded the police, so we'll go back to you in 3 or 5 hours." Something about
About the rainbows and unicorns.
yeah, the rainbows and unicorns will come and help.
It's ridiculous because this is getting. Do you think this will blow over and they'll find something else and leave all this stuff alone?
Yeah.
Or how long do you think this will last?
That's a hard one. Who knows, man? They're on a rampage right now. Hard to say. Maybe as long as this coronavirus thing's been going
on. So Washington, D.C. unveiled the BLM Avenue. What if D.C. put up street sign, paving, White Lives Matter? The reverse racism is going to cause issues. It's
reactionary.
Reactionary.
No, substantive
not
change.
Substantive change. Yeah. It's just this is getting so out of hand.
Well, there's a couple of streets up here that they want to rename because one's Russell Street and one's Dundas Street. And actually, Dundas Street runs all the way from Toronto, right through Kingston, where I live, right through down to Ottawa. But because they have ties to slavery, because they're slave names,
I've heard about
that.
They want
to change the names for them. I mean, how stupid
I've heard about that. So it's like, why change all this stuff? Why change all this stuff that's been around for a long time? Why change it now? Why all of a sudden now?
Well, I mean, to me, it's pretty apparent because I think a lot of these people have been given a lot of room. They take a little bit, you give them a little bit more, they take a little bit more, and eventually starts cutting into the things that at one time weren't an issue because they just keep taking and taking, and you give them a little bit of space and they just keep taking and taking and taking. It's never enough. You concede a little bit and then that's not enough. So you concede a little bit more. Well, that's not enough. And eventually it's like, how much are we going to have to concede before America's not even America anymore? We're not going to have an American flag. No one will know who Abraham Lincoln is 20 years from now. We're talking about changing the dynamics of America as a whole because before 1965, we didn't have, the civil rights issue. We're talking about everything, every leader that we had before civil rights was enacted will probably need to have his statue thrown into the lake, because he's connected with an era that represented racism.
So eventually, the way it's going to go, we're not going to have a free nation anymore.
It'll be free. It'll be depending on how you define free.
Be free from all the history, and there'll be what will we if we erase all this history? What will we teach our kids? That's the one thing I don't understand. If we erase all this history of all these presidents, everything, are we going to rewrite the history books?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what they're doing now. I mean, they don't teach that. Look what they've done with American history in terms of, it used to be taught that, and you can even see in the old, you can go on Google News, you can look up newspapers and read newspapers from 1800 and whatever. They go all the way back to the 1700s. So you can go back and read the firsthand accounts of what life was like back then. And you don't have to rely on history books. You can actually go and look. They didn't have the internet back then. All they had, the way they communicated and the way they found out their news was through the papers.
Yeah.
And other people. So you can go back and look at those same papers, and if you look at some of that stuff, you'll read the accounts of what it was really like for those people at the time when they were having to deal with Indian raids and all that stuff.
Oh, and by the way,
go ahead.
By the way, the scalpings, it was basically not the Native Americans but it was the white men. The Indian scalp, $500 for a scalp, and it was
Hmm.
for the white men to scalp the Indians had. And we always thought it was the Indians that scalped, but it was for the white men. Oh, by the way, the Civil Rights Act was 1968, not 1960, not in 65.
Well, I'm saying 19. It's just the era of the civil
Yeah,
rights. I'm not
yeah,
giving an exact date,
no,
but just
yeah,
roundabout that era is. I mean, if you were previous to the enactment of civil rights, if you're a leader during that time
yeah,
in the white community, chances are you're going to be frowned upon because
yeah,
you were connected with, I mean, a time that was mainly racist.
yeah. Well, it just people forgot how far we've came, how we've changed over time. They forget where we came from, and they want to erase that part of bad memory. But it's like Neil here says, you want to sweep it under the rug, but soon the rug's going to get so big from all that sweeping that stuff under there.
Well, we have the issue of racism here. Canada deals with the Aboriginal people. They have their own issues up there with, guilt being put on them for how they dealt with the Aborigines. And then you have, of course, you have slavery in Britain. So it's really an all out assault on people now that had nothing to do with the issues that their forefathers dealt with and how they dealt with it.
Oh, the thing here is Ohio has some um, some tunnels from for the Underground Railroad came up here. There's some up here in Ohio, the tunnels of the Underground Railroad,
Yeah.
and that's well known from up here. But um, it's just they forget, and it's like they're going to keep on sweeping under road. And eventually, that road's going to get so big, it's like they're going to have nothing to sweep under it.
I assume in Canada they probably are teaching now that if they weren't teaching it before that the land is stolen land,
Yep. Yeah,
just like they're doing here.
yeah, and right now the Liberal government is doing pipelines, and it's running through native land, which
Yeah,
has
oh,
caused a big
oh,
stir up here right now.
and I think it's one of the, I don't know if it's South or Dakota, where they wanted to put the pipeline run alongside the Indian reservation and under the water. And there were so many protests against it, saying that water is life. Because if the pipeline runs underwater, what happens if the pipeline breaks? You get all this oil and crud in the water, and you got fish in there. And a lot of the kids, swim in that river, and play around there. And could you imagine all the destructive of the oil,
Well, if it
the
leaks, you imagine
wildlife?
all the black place that would happen. It's scandalous.
But it's just there was so much protest because the Indians say that water is life, and that river. There's a lot of kids, and they would play by the river, probably swim. But if that pipe breaks, you got all that oil, the destruction of the wildlife there, the fish. It would take a while to clean it all up. Probably take a while before uh, the fish and the underwater life start growing and coming back. I mean, oil can it's not good in water, and you can have all the wildlife and stuff. And, and there was a big protest, and I was, it was called Standing Rock, and I stood with them too because I'm part Native American, half Cherokee, and to me, I don't mind pipelines, but I don't want them to be run underwater because it takes so much to clean it up. Now, if
Oh,
it
it's like
leaks,
it's like then when you have a tanker leak out in the Gulf, things like that. Yeah, it can be devastating.
yeah,
Sure. I mean, I don't really, have a dog in that fight in particular. So, I mean, I can appreciate that point of view. I mean, I'm not a big, if you ask me, well, what are we going to do about the pipeline? I'd say somebody else needs to deal with that issue. I don't really have a hardcore emotional reaction to that either way. So,
He said, is that what you're, Paul? Is that DAPL and Keystone XL? What's that? I'm just asking them.
Keystone's the pipeline, but in DAPL, I'm not sure.
Oh, I think is that the protest for that pipeline I was talking about?
Don't know, but it sounds familiar. It sounds like it might be.
Because I'm on a lot of Native American groups on Facebook, and they had a showing about that, and Native Americans, but they were protesting peacefully. They don't get, that's the one thing I like about them. They don't, when they're protesting, they don't get the violent, they could have done something to their machinery and stuff, but they did. They stood there protesting the peaceful type of way, sitting out there, pounding their drums and their sentimental thing, but they're standing there and they're protesting peaceful like it should be.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I like about them. They don't do any destruction or rioting or destroying property, because to them, that doesn't get the point.
Right. Well, it's also probably that they don't think it's a healthy response either, because it hurts the environment.
Yeah, and so the whole thing is wish people, whenever they protest about this thing with Floyd, the one who got there, that they should take that and do the same thing with just protest peacefully like the Native Americans did when it came to that pipeline.
Well, I think the issue that they're dealing with when it comes to George Floyd is, like we talked about earlier, I think you're dealing with a lot of rioters who are hired goons. They're not really part of, no one's going in. there are people who are they're taking advantage of the situation, and they're not stealing TVs in honor of George Floyd. We go grab this diamond ring and this laptop in honor of Floyd. That's not what's happening. They're seeing that they're opportunists.
Yep.
A lot of those people.
They're using that protest to fund their own.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm not. I understand how somebody is. It's also the white people too. I've seen a picture of a white guy taking a cart with this big old TV. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the heck are you going to do with that thing as TV?
I saw a video of a black dude, and it doesn't matter whether he's black or white. It was just, I thought that was hilarious. This video of this black dude, he had an ATM that he was dragging on the ground, and he was going to heave it onto this bus that he was pulling it up to a bus stop. The bus pulls up, and the bus driver obviously wasn't going to wasn't on board with that. That was quite a funny sight. He's like, "For real, man? You really going to?" It's like, yeah, you're not taking the ATM on the bus, dude.
You're a redneck when.
Oh God, I've heard enough redneck jokes.
I've seen a lot of things in my day, but taking the ATM that you just friggin' looted onto the bus is that's a new one for me.
Oh man, that would be that sounds funny. Yeah, dragging this ATM along with you and then walk up and it's like want to get on the bus and it's like
it wasn't like he was dragging it like it was easy to move. He was like walking it. He was walking it and then dragging it. It was a real chore. I can't imagine how he would have had to get the bus driver to help him, maybe a few other people too. Like that was really an option. Like he just couldn't believe they weren't going to let him on that bus. Like he's like, for real?
Yeah, they have those bike things now, right? And then they have the hydraulic, so he could have dropped the bus down to help him up a little bit more.
Yeah, that would have been that would have just taken it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, there's some writers in Ben Cleveland that got arrested, and they were giving wrong addresses. There's no house that lives on this road, or there's We don't have a name. That is not a road we have here. I mean, they were coming up with ridiculous, house addresses. It's like, dudes. I
101
talked,
Riot Lane.
yeah, and he when I was on Neil's show, and we were talking about that. Some of the artists are fronting, not artists, but some of the famous people are putting out bail money for those writers to bail them out of jail.
Yeah, they could put
Yeah.
that money more to use, like you're feeding the homeless,
Or
sheltering the
help,
homeless.
or helping the military veterans.
Well, and now they weren't
Yeah.
even asking money. A lot of these, some counties were, some mayors were not even going to prosecute these riders. They were going to just let them out.
Oh my God. It's like a slap on the wrist and say, okay, yeah, we right. Yeah,
And
you
enjoy
guys are talking
your
about
68
what
CD that you stole.
I mean,
Don't
that's
do it
like
again.
that's like in Seattle where they, those, I don't even know if they're protesters, whatever they are. They set up that little autonomous zone, that little zone that they were kind of protecting, and they drove the police. Well, the police just left, and then they took over that little area, that 6-block area in Seattle, and the mayor comes out and that was a big problem because they actually were armed. I mean, these were people that had bulletproof vests. They were armed, and they were asking people this was last week, asking for people for ID, residents who lived in the area. It's like, and they were threatening people. It was quite a scene, and no, it was like they just took over the 6-block area. They had roped it off, and then you had the mayor coming out, Durkins, mayor of Seattle, saying, well, it's because Trump's threatening. He's basically saying, you get your house in order or else I'm going to get it in order for you. And you had the mayor saying, it would be unconstitutional and illegal to send the military into Seattle.
Oh, yeah, that's the one thing I mean, I know there's a lot of Trump supporters, and I know you and Andy support Trump, and that's your choice, and the way you think. But the one thing I do have against of Trump wanting to do is activate the military, and I talked to my dad because my dad was in the army. He says that there is a certain law, a certain thing that's set in law that he can use to activate the military. Well,
Yeah.
we all got all this National Guard. Why don't you just send the National Guard? Because in Ohio we have the National Guard that's helping here in the state. Well, that's what the National Guard for. The Army is for wartime. Fighting the fighting in a war type of scenario. I don't think bringing in the military for something like this. I mean, I don't know how you would feel. How you feel about that?
Well, there are instances where the National Guard was actually overrun.
Now, if that's the case, if that happens, I could see with the military
Right.
if that happens. But
The other point that you need to understand is that he can't just call the National Guard in to a specific city, to a state. They have to agree to that. The governors have to say, okay, we agree. If they
Yeah.
don't, it doesn't work. That's why he's saying either you call. He wanted them to call in the National Guard. There's some of these governors and mayors wouldn't do it, and they were letting their towns go up in flames.
we have our National Guard helping out with, with the food pantry and stuff. But down there, in case they do, we didn't. Yeah, we had a lot of damage down there in downtown Cleveland, but not enough that was like too extremely bad. I mean, what I'm saying is destruction of stores and stealing of stuff that and burning of 2 police cars. That's bad, but I don't know if they had the National Guard there to help
And
with. I don't know because the news doesn't really tell much.
in New York, De Blasio was not going to activate the National Guard. And if anyone who's seen the news, now this was last week, but at the time he wasn't going to activate the National Guard. And you had rioters and people were vandalizing, rioting, looting. It was chaos. And still, this is why Trump was threatening. either you call in the National Guard, or I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to put a stop to it, because they wouldn't do anything. And this is we're talking about civil liberties are being trampled on because people who own businesses aren't being protected. And that should be the priority of the government. And they're just standing by and letting it happen. So under that circumstance, that's why I think, Trump would have been justified in calling him in, because they weren't going to do anything. They weren't going to activate the National Guard. They were just going to let shit burn.
Okay, so I didn't know that part. I didn't, there's some stuff I don't understand, and that's one I wasn't have a pretty much of understanding. But there's a certain set type law or whatever.
Yeah, it's you're talking about the Insurrection Act.
Yeah, that's what it is. I couldn't remember the name, but that is something that he would have to use to activate. Now, my boyfriend says no, he can't. But I talked with my dad. My dad was in the Army, so my dad has a little bit more understanding, and so he's the one that told me about that certain act that he can use to activate the military.
Yeah.
But see, that I did not know, and I don't think anybody. I don't think a lot of us know about that. I don't think that's taught us.
That's what was so infuriating, is you're sitting on the sidelines looking at New York burn, and you're thinking, okay, when are they going to step in and let the police do their job? When is the National Guard going to step in? When are they going to call the National Guard in? Well, they didn't. They just sat there, I guess because they were worried they were going to upset, the black community by trying to put a damper on the things that they shouldn't be doing. If you want to protest, you can protest. That's your right. I mean, that's fine. But as far as looting and rioting, that's not protesting.
That's not protesting. That's causing destruction and all sorts of things.
Exactly.
And like I said, it's like, okay, you hear about this police officer that put his knee on George Floyd, and was the one, and there was two officers that didn't stop him, and they all got charged. But then these people who are angry, the black people that are angry against the cops, there's a few bad apples in the police department. Not all of them are bad. So it's like, why judge all of the police, all the people in the police as bad? Because not all of them are bad. So you're judging 3 bad apples and judging the whole police department, or the police in general, that just because of these 3 bad apples. Now wait a minute here. There's something wrong with this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because now with me, I had an incident with police in Madison, Ohio, that I did not care for the way they treated me. But I've had police there. I live in a township, and then I've had police in the city they were really nice. They were very understanding. But then I don't judge those cops in that city against the ones, I don't judge them. I don't say, oh, those police are just like those police in that other city. I don't use that as a judge of all the cops. I don't like I'm saying, is those 3 cops that got done that. Those 3 bad apples, don't judge. So I don't judge the rest of the cops because of those ones in Massillon, Ohio.
Yeah, when America was attacked on 9/11 by Islamics and killed 3,000 people, right? There were, I don't know, was it 9 people on board that plane with box cutters? Anyway, whatever the official toll was, it wasn't that many people. It was just a few guys, right?
Yeah.
Several guys.
Yeah.
So, but there was a lot of people that were upset, their anger was directed at Islam. And what was the thing that we heard from the very people that are telling us that the police are bad today? We heard, well, look, you can't judge an entire group by the actions of a few.
That's the same thing that goes like those people that were on those extreme the extremists,
Yeah,
their
right.
Islam. You shouldn't judge all of people that practice, or Muslim or practice that or from over in the Middle East just because those ones who were on the plane during 9/11. So it's just don't judge the rest of them just by a few bad apples. That's the way I look at it. And my dad has always taught me that you got bad and good of any nationality. You don't have, you know, all Muslims are bad. No, I don't look at that. I see there's bad Muslims and good Muslims,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And if you look at the Quran, there in the original Quran doesn't say that they have to go kill where they're gonna get 12 virgins up in heaven. Where are they gonna get the virgins? That's the one thing I keep thinking. Where are they gonna get all these virgins for these guys? No, but I mean, the Quran. From what I heard, is the Quran doesn't speak about doing violence.
I
You
mean,
know,
it does. It does talk about it, but a lot of that is look. I don't know the Quran very well, so
I don't know
I'm
you.
talking out of turn. But I have heard some passages that
Yeah.
certainly to me sound like they're indicative of violence. But then again, you get that in the Old Testament too.
Yeah, if you look at the Old Testament Bible, there was a lot of type of violence that happened then. You know, and I think you get it everywhere in any type of religion.
Yeah.
There has, and it's just like I said. This is I don't, I'm hoping this will blow over, but the way it's looking, I don't think it's going. It may be a long time before it does, and when it does blow over, we won't have America. We'll
Yeah.
just have Northern America.
Well,
North America.
you'll have to come on my stream sometime, Michelle. And we need to have a discussion about because we tend to. I don't think we get upset with each other, but it would be nice to have a discussion where you tell me what you don't like about Trump, and we'll have like just we'll just have a friendly discussion of
Yeah,
kind of comparing notes,
but the
and you
whole,
can tell me some of that, and I can tell you we can have a
yeah,
discussion about it.
it's like I told Andy. It's like and I also have another online friend from San Antonio, Texas, from the game where I play, and she likes Trump, and me and her. And this is the one thing. I mean, she gets really extreme when it comes to that. And if I say anything, and this is where my boyfriend's put down his foot. No talking of politics, because both me and her. I mean, she'll start it, and then I'll get in it, and it's like half the times I hang up on her. I don't mean to, but it's like sometimes I can. But see, like I tell her, I said, look, you voted for Trump, that's fine. It's your decision. I didn't. And I'm not going to tell you that you voted for Trump was wrong. Everybody has their right. This is what this country is.
Right. No, I mean, look, you're right. No, I think it's always interesting if you can have a civil discussion about something that two people don't necessarily see the same, see this from the same perspective, and have a civil discussion about it. Sometimes it can be. Look, when you said, for example, you didn't feel like he should call in the military, and then I kind of told you sort of the reason, the context.
Well,
as
see, I
to
didn't.
why.
Well, see, I did not know some of that.
Right.
That's
So
the
that
whole
kind of
thing.
changes that changes the dynamic of how you might see that situation.
Yeah,
Having that information filled in could potentially change, how you view that.
Yes. Well, see, I didn't know. See, a lot of times the news tells you things that you don't really know what's going. I think they didn't really rope in They didn't tell you the whole full story.
Right. Yeah. Well, you
That's the
can't
whole
really
thing.
rely on the media these days to do
No.
that.
No.
Look, it's been really fun. I hate to cut you off. But Blue Bonnet's got to go to bed really soon. So
Oh yeah, because she has to go to work. Make sure she hears her alarm clock in the morning.
I'll tell her. I'll tell her.
Yeah, and then she's probably gonna have bad dreams, dreaming of Neil in a tutu.
Singing Yellow Brick Road.
Yes,
Singing Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, I need to get going. Anyway, I also need to go too because sun's starting to settle down, and I need to take the trash can out to the curb if it's not already taken out. So,
All
because I
right.
right off my parents, I live right next door, which is
Well,
kind of
thanks for
good.
having me on, Michelle. Nice
Yeah,
talking to you,
Thanks for
Jason.
inviting me on as well.
yeah. Hey, it's good. The three is. It's always good to have another person along. Anyway, thanks to everybody in the chat, and hopefully, this will all blow over and everything go back to semi-normal. And um, this is my last rant. This is the last when the shit is gotten real. That's what it says. That's what Andy says. The shit's going to get real. And that's what it did. So anyway, you guys have a good night. Everybody in the chat, you have a good night wherever you're at. And hopefully next stream will be peaceful. Okay?
Yeah.
Bye.
Take it easy, Neil. Take it easy, Michelle.
Bye, guys.
Bye.